Here we go.
Epis Radio. Epis Radio.
Maddie B.
Epis Radio. Epis Radio.
Hitting you from NYC.
Epis Radio. Epis Radio.
Yep. All right. It's that time.
Maddie B.
What's going on, everybody? It's your boy, Matty B, Epis Radio Entertainment. Thank you for joining me for the live recording of episode 78, Epis Sports Podcast. I have a very special guest with me today, Tia Samuda, joining me on the show. Thank you for joining me. I met Tia recently at the Bronx Burners Marathon Team meetup in the Bronx at Joseph Yancey Park. And the second I met her, I knew she was a very special woman, and she just had a certain glow about her. And, then I started to talk to her a little bit, got to know her, and, I was like, I immediately got to have her on the podcast. So, Tia, thank you for joining me today for episode 78. I appreciate you. And how's everything feeling? How you feeling? How you doing?
Hey everybody, I'm feeling good. I'm excited for this episode. I'm excited to chit chat and just talk about fun stuff.
Before we get into everything, again, for everybody, if you're new to the show, thank you for joining me. I appreciate it. This podcast I started with a friend of mine years ago. Really, we started going heavy back in like 2020, and been streaming live on Twitch and YouTube for quite some time now. Put out weekly content on all the socials. So please like, comment, share, and subscribe. And of course, got to go check out Tia. Put up her page for you as well. Go follow her on all the socials. She's she's you're just run of the mill content creator. Nothing too crazy, if you haven't heard about her so far. All right, she's been doing her thing. All right, not in her own health and fitness journey, but she is. I don't know how you label yourself, but I would call you a content creator. I don't want to say influencer. I know some people are like weird on that, So, but again, follow my girl right there, Tia. All right, check her out. She also has a workout page. Was it what's that one titled again, T?
TT workouts.
TT workouts. There you go. Yeah, go give her a follow. So Tia, we want to hear about you. I want to hear about you. All right, take me back, to the beginning, born and raised. Before we get into all the fitness stuff and all that. I want to hear about you and your journey, growing up.
I'm Jamaican. I was born and raised in Jamaica. I spent most of my life and adult years in Jamaica before moving here. I was a teacher there. That's what I did first. I'm from a family of teachers, so most persons in my family are teachers. Initially, I wanted to be a lawyer, but my mom said no. I guess I have to follow in her footsteps, which is crazy, but hey.
It's interesting. It's usually the other way around. It's usually the other way around. People would say the lawyer over the teacher, but especially when it comes to money, right? Yeah.
Not my mom. She was like, they lie too much. I'm like, it's a career.
That's awesome.
But she was very adamant about me being a teacher, so I became a teacher. I didn't necessarily love it per se, but it was good, like a good thing to impact lives. And I got my first job at my old high school where I taught, where I went to. And so it was a good experience to be on both sides, to be a teacher, be a student. So it was I was only filling in for a teacher that was out sick. Okay. And then I moved to the Cayman Islands for a while. Wow. And after which I came here and I lived in Florida for a while. And then I decided to just come to New York on my own, on a whim, and figure it out. And I've figured it out.
When did you first come to the States? Were
And
you?
like 2014, no, I used to be here back and forth, but
Yeah,
in 2014 was when I was permanent.
like officially moved. Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. How was that? How was that transition overall? Yeah.
It wasn't bad or strange experience because I've always been to Florida, like every
Hmm.
summer, every most holidays I've been to Florida. And I
Okay.
also have family in Florida, so I was with my family. So it wasn't anything like new per se.
Right,
And
right,
also
right.
Florida is similar to Jamaica, so it's not
Mm.
much different.
Yeah, that's true. In terms
Yeah.
of, yeah, definitely the climate, right?
The climate
Yeah,
and people, there's a lot of Jamaicans and Caribbean people that live there.
right. Oh, so there you go. And you moved to New York when?
In 2016.
Okay. All right. So you were basically down there, for like 2 years and
Yeah,
came
for
over.
2 years.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. How do you like New York? Where,
Absolutely love New York.
where, what you live in, was it Westchester, County?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Um, yeah, that's a much nicer area to live in, I would say. And it's a nice way to experience New York, I would say.
You get the best of
Yeah,
both worlds. But I used to be in Brooklyn,
absolutely.
so
Okay.
I work, in different boroughs, so I'm not really restricted to Westchester only.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
it's kind of like it's not too far, but it's not in the city, so it's like a
Right.
perfect balance for me.
Absolutely, I agree. Yeah, I kind of wanted to move in that direction, but I ended up staying in Queens. So I think longer term, I'll probably get out of here. It's just too damn expensive anyway.
It
If I
is.
had it my way, I'd go up north a little bit more. But
Hmm.
yeah. So I mean, that's awesome. Was it when you came to New York? Did you have a job? What were you doing around that time?
Well, I stayed with my friend from college for a while,
Okay.
and then I started applying for jobs, and then I started working, and then eventually over the years, I adapted and um, just and then in 2019 is when I moved to Westchester because that was it. Because I had a job close by, I was like, yeah, let me stay in Westchester, and I also liked it because it was not so crowded and like condensed like the Bronx, Brooklyn,
Mm-hmm.
Manhattan, and then I decided to stay here. But I do go to Brooklyn a lot for work, or Bronx, sometimes Queens for work, but you just gotta travel around. That's New
All
York.
right. What were you doing in terms of the work around that time? Like you say,
It's
you
like
travel a lot.
in-home nursing. So I had
Oh,
a lot of
okay.
patients that were at home.
Nice. Oh, so
Yeah.
are you still a nurse now? What do
Yeah, I'm
so you
still.
travel nurse, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, RN or
No, it's like LPN,
LVN?
respiratory kind of thing. Yeah.
Okay, okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, have you ever worked in any hospitals, or you just been doing the travel thing?
And no, what I've worked with is students and
Mm-hmm.
kids and adults with or autism.
Mm-hmm.
So we would go into like group homes or nursing homes, and then I would also do that. But I never worked in the hospital. I have always had patients that were at home per
Yeah.
se.
That's
Yeah.
that's awesome. I would argue that's the better way to go, especially in that field. It's working in the hospital. Yeah, I've done it quite a lot, over the last 10 years, and it is just hectic and stressful.
It can be
Not
hectic.
not that the at home isn't, because you definitely go. I'm sure go into some homes that it's just not favorable. It's not a good situation. I mean, I've been there before. I did mobile phlebotomy for a while. So I'd be, going into the projects, be going into some sketchy
Oh
places,
yeah.
like, hoarders' homes. I'd go into homes where I couldn't even like walk 2 feet. Just
Yeah.
bad. Like, and that's not always fun. But
No, it's definitely not always fun.
yeah,
And sometimes you go inside, you don't know if you're outside or inside. That's how terrible it was. I had
right.
that experience once, and sometimes the families are not so nice. But
Yeah,
hey, that's what makes it up. You know.
it comes with healthcare, but it's
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure you have a level of fulfillment when it comes to it. I certainly do. I've That's why I've worked in healthcare for 10 years. So I really enjoy helping people out. It's it's more than just making money for me. I've always said you have to have that kind of take or at least the approach when it comes to healthcare, because
Yeah, you do.
if you're just doing it for the money, you're not. It's going to be miserable. Like,
It's
so.
definitely gonna be miserable.
Absolutely. You got to want to be there. You got to want to help people. And, I work at a cancer center. So it's just, everybody I meet are in dire situations. Some on their last legs, and it's they never people are just generally not in a good mood. It's very pessimistic a lot of times.
It can
So
be.
and you
Yes.
got to be that shining light for the person a little bit. So my hat's off to you for doing that. How long have you been doing healthcare for?
It's like since 2017.
Okay, yeah,
So I've
yeah.
been
So
around the block
actually,
a little bit.
yeah. It's so basically you and me started around the same time. Yeah, yeah, for sure. That's awesome. Um,
Yeah.
outside of that, when did you start running? You always been running ever since you were younger, or because for me,
No.
my whole running journey is still relatively fresh. I'm basically what 3.5, maybe 4 years now, I guess.
Hmm.
Um, so I don't consider that a very long time. What's your timeline in regards to that?
My timeline is just a year and a couple months actually. Um, I had my first race in sometime in 2024, and then I did majority of whatever races I did in 2025. Um, but when I
Two
was younger, I used to
two-time half
play.
marathon finisher. Yeah.
I did a
Uh,
Spartan a few times.
all right.
Um, but no, I was very overweight before, so I started my
Mm,
weight loss journey in 2023. And prior to that, I was privy enough to see the marathon. Like one day I was coming from work in the city and I was like, hey, why they blocked the roads off? And then someone said it was a marathon. So I decided to like hang around a little bit,
mm,
see what's up. And then I saw the elite men, women go by. And then I just felt like a burst of motivation. I'm like, I'm going to be doing this. I'm going to be doing this one day. And then
right.
I stuck around and saw the droves of people that come in who are suffering, but are still like pushing on. And then I felt so inspired. I was like, I immediately like I left because I had to come back to work in the night. And then I remember texting my friends and I was like, hey guys, we're going on a weight loss journey. We're going to run the marathon. And I started trying to lose weight at that time, but I
Hmm.
didn't know like the proper way to go about losing weight. It's not just about like starving yourself,
Right. Right.
gym, eating protein, healthy food, all that jazz. I wasn't going about it the right way. So
Right.
I gave up on that probably a month after that, I kind of fell off. And then in 2023, a friend of mine from college, she said, hey, Tia, you want to go to the gym with me? And at that time, I went to the doctor and she said I was pre diabetic. So I had to do
Mm,
something about my weight back then. And I said, yeah, let's go to the gym. So we went to the gym. We decided on a trainer. I got a trainer for both of us. And unfortunately, she didn't last for more than a month, but I continued. And I stuck it out. I had my trainer for almost 2 years. And over that period of time, I lost like over 100 pounds. And through that I started running. And then one day I said, let me try the treadmill. Try the treadmill. I tried running outside. And I was like, I actually like this. And from then I pushed myself, signed up for races here and there, and from then I've been running. And I also knew that I wanted to run the New York City Marathon because it was just like a goal of mine, and I think that would be
hmm.
like a great accomplishment. So that's where I started to where I'm at now.
Where where are you at in terms of your running? Like, do you feel like you're in a very good place? Do you still feel like, you have so much more to do in that space? I mean, obviously the marathon's the goal, but thereafter is do you have visions of doing more races? Continuing to do, or is it just the New York City Marathon for you? It's good, because some people, everybody's journey is different.
Hmm.
I've transitioned more into like the ultra marathon space as much as I love marathons. But it's always kind of been a thing for me. My love for running started with hiking, so I've always tried to mix those two things, and that's where like trail running and ultra running has intrigued me more. As much as I love the marathon, and a huge goal obviously is to run New York City amongst a couple other ones. I definitely would love to do some travel. One of the obviously like the other world majors and all that. That would be really cool if possible. Um, Boston, as well, but I don't think that's that's gonna happen
It's a hard
anytime
one to
soon.
get
Yeah.
it. No, don't say that. You can get
But I mean, just it's hard enough doing, even having an opportunity to run. And again, shout out to the, Bronx Burners who are and New Balance
Yeah,
who has sponsored,
sure.
both of us and allowed us, to not only run in the New York City Marathon, but help raise money, for student athletes and kids and mentorship programs, the whole nine. What they do over there at the Bronx Burners is just amazing. Founded by Rob Dalto and Shaq, and it just, two amazing guys that have just been doing amazing things, and they've built a community of like-minded people like yourself, Tia, and it's just amazing to see, and be a part of. And it was cool just the other night. We were hanging out there on Wednesday, as they always do,
Yeah.
7 p.m., and we got to see some, you know, grad students, going off on their journey, hearing some of their stories about going to college, where they're going to college, and all that, and what they're, looking forward to in their lives. So, you see, that's what I like about the burners. You see it,
Mhm.
firsthand a little bit. It's very hands on when it comes to that. So, as opposed to some other charities, not to say that other charities are not good, of course, but I think just the burners bring that little extra element to it that's very intimate, and I could appreciate it. So it's very cool,
Yeah.
and it's awesome, to meet you, through it. How did you get into the whole content thing? When did that all start? Or has it just been something you just over time it's done and it's accumulated, and like, when I don't even like, how far back did you start posting online?
So I'm gonna answer your first question about the ultra running and the running.
Oh, okay, yeah,
Um, I I do want to do more because I'm very much heavily into ultra running. Sally
right,
McRae, Andy Glaze, Eli, the Moab, Cocodona. I do keep abreast of that a lot.
okay, yeah,
I just don't get a chance to do it. I mean, I started with Spartan because it's more than just running on the road or running, track. So for future, I want to do at least a 20K than a 50K because
okay.
I think I am more of an endurance person than a fast person. I will run for miles, not necessarily the fastest. And I like the fact that it challenges you like mentally to keep going even when you're like so tired,
Right.
like because I did the Bear Mountain Spartan um
Yeah,
two
you were
years in a
telling me.
row.
Yeah.
It was really good. Like it's hard, it's not easy. But I do want to transition into like going on the West Coast to even just Leadville 100, just to witness the races before I actually,
Yeah.
get into it.
I'm
Or
with you.
even like UTMB, just to be there to see it
Right.
because I know one day I'll definitely be running in the ultra trail.
Okay.
Definitely not like Courtney the Walter, but at least just like
uh,
participate in it.
I'll be
But
running
I do
with you
have the
then.
love.
Yeah. Let's do
We
it.
could do that. I'm
Yeah.
I'm I'm down for it.
Yeah.
The West Coast has a lot of it, and they have the good races over there. So I'm
For sure.
hoping to go over there one day just to see it, and then eventually I'll be a part of it. Um, and it's funny, the guy who does Cocodona, he ran the 2025 New York City Marathon, and I met him.
Oh, nice.
And
Wow.
we do chit chat on Instagram and stuff like that. So
Oh,
I'm
wow.
hoping
Okay.
next year to go to actually just witness the race. I know it's a long, like a couple of days, but still, just being
Yeah.
there and being there, it does a lot for you, like mentally. But
Oh,
yeah.
it's wild. Actually, our fellow burner Andrew Finnegan, he's running 100-mile race this year. It's the first time he's doing reaching that 100-mile distance. You know,
Oh
in
my
a
gosh.
race. So like, yeah, it's amazing. That's my next goal too. I've done 350s now. Um,
Oh wow.
and that's been fun. It's been challenging, but it's been fun. I've truly have fell in love with it. But that jump from 50 to 100, I was considered doing it this year, but I don't. I think that might be a goal for next year. We'll see. Especially because I think my main focus is just New York City. I'm also running another marathon at some point. Um, it's a
But I
little,
also do want to. I want to do the world majors. So it's
yeah,
definitely not going to stop at New York City. New York City is just like the gateway to it.
sure, yeah,
Um, my goal is to do all the majors. Um, and I had a goal one time to run a race, even if it's a 5K in every single state. And that's still on. I really
mm.
want to do that.
That's really cool. That's really cool.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean that's what I love about the whole running community and and just hiking community. It's about seeing other places. It kind of it's an easy way to it's a good idea for a travel race. I love doing that with my wife. It's an excuse for us to travel somewhere and I could go run a race. She's down with it. I've done a couple of marathons like that now, so it's totally an easy way to travel and just a fun way to combine both worlds. I love it. I want to do
yeah,
more of it. I haven't. I myself am not even traveled out of the states, so that's something that I really want to bring to both worlds and just do. And you know, um, doing the world majors would be
crazy.
an easy way to do that and just be crazy at the same time for sure. Now what we got another world major at Cape Town, right? Um, so now it's just like they keep on piling up. I don't know how far
I
they're gonna go
know
with
they
this.
can. That has to be the last one because what the hell?
Why not go to 10 at that point? I mean, there's only so much you could put on your neck after it's all done. Yeah,
I know.
yeah.
I think runners take vacation where they could run. That's just the thing.
Yeah, I'd say that. Well, listen, it's a great excuse, like I said, and my wife she doesn't run, so all she does want is travel, but she doesn't want to like go do all things. So she's happy. I get to do what I want to do, and
She
it's all
travels.
good, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. No, she's without her, a lot of this stuff doesn't even happen. So even like doing what I'm doing now and having you on here. She is the backbone of the show for sure here at Epis Radio Entertainment.
Yeah.
She's downstairs right now watching all the kids, while I'm up here hanging with you. So that in itself, shout out to my wife. Love you.
Of course. Shout out.
Thank you everybody for joining. Dion Crawford coming from YouTube. What's going on, Dion? Um, Thank you for showing up. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. If you haven't already done so, go follow my girl Tia. You see the handle right there on the screen. All right, had her page up. I'll throw her page up for you again one more time here. So I asked you before. I know it was a little bit of sorry. You get those show nerves sometimes. When did you start the whole journey on social media? Like that's always an interesting one. But have you been doing it since you were young, or it's just a recent thing? You have
No, I would
quite a
say
lot of posts up there. So I would figure it's a while, but
since 2016 officially. I think 2015 it was more like when Instagram just came about, you would like post pictures. But
mm-hmm.
in 2016, 17, Facebook used to be the place where we would go to do
Right.
makeup. So after work, I would always have some time and then I would go live and then I would teach classes then on Facebook.
Mm.
And I had like a makeup group um, there on Facebook in 2017, 18. And then I also had like a whole meetup, like a lot of persons came from different states and we all rented an Airbnb in Queens and we all just met up and had fun for the weekend.
Wow.
Um, and then Brian started reaching out to me 2018, 19. Then, we transitioned to Instagram.
Mm.
Would still do my lives, but lives back then was just a big thing on Facebook, the
Okay.
era 17, 18, 19. And then Instagram had where you could post videos. And then, we transitioned, you transition with whatever social platform is booming, that's where we transition to.
Right.
And I just continued. Like I never stopped because people oftentimes ask me if that's what I do for my job, if I do makeup. Like, no, it's just a hobby. It's
Mm-hmm.
literally just a hobby. Um, and I enjoy it. I enjoy teaching it. I have classes sometimes or I teach persons one on one. I started my own brand.
Mm-hmm.
I sell powders, brushes, sponges. And then I started working with different brands. So it's just a matter of consistency. I never stopped because it is something that I'm really passionate about. Um, Absolutely love doing makeup. I don't know where it came from, but it just happened,
Mm-hmm.
and I never stopped. I always find the time to do it because it brings me so much joy. It would be kind of like a stress relief for me. Also, just a way for me to escape and be creative. I used to draw a lot on my face back then, and it's just a form of like self-expression.
Hmm.
And I also afforded the opportunity to meet a lot of great people during this journey.
When was it because of all the networking that you felt like your following grew, or was it just a matter of consistency, posting a lot, just being there, showing up? Like, what do you think was the key, or was it a mix of both?
I say it's a mix of both because networking also could be wherein you know about me, you tell your brother tells his sister.
Hmm.
That's a form of, like backdoor networking.
Right. Sure.
And also just like showing up. Like people like when you show up. People like when you're consistent.
Hmm.
People like when they could look forward to knowing that that person is gonna post something no matter what. That
Right.
person is
Right.
gonna do something no matter what. So people kind of people follow your trend. That's what I noticed. So if you're
Mm.
inconsistent, they're gonna be inconsistent. If you're consistent, they're gonna always look forward to something.
Right. That certainly seems like a winning strategy, and it's just weird, figuring out these algorithms a lot of time. But I would think in the makeup world, there's such a large community for that. So it's you really have a good chance to grow as long as again you are who you are, you're being genuine, you're doing your thing, you're staying consistent, and but the networking, of course, how can it not help? For in terms
Hmm.
of like brand deals, was it just like they just reached out to you towards the beginning, or like how did that work? You reach out to them. What was that journey like?
They would reach out to me.
Yeah.
I've never had a manager.
Mm.
Actually, I had a manager once, but that was short lived.
Okay.
But they would reach out to me. Back then, a lot has changed in the makeup space and the internet since COVID
Mm.
or during, let's say, 2023 onwards. So brands would usually just reach out to you in your inbox or your DMs.
Hmm.
And they would just say, hey, I'm the PR person for XYZ company. We like your content. We would like to send you some goodies, or we like to work with you, or could you, how much is it to make a post, whatever it
Hmm.
is. But now a lot of it is going through persons who have managers, so a lot has changed. But usually they would just straight dagger shoot at you and just be like, hey, we added to your PR list. And then I think with you circling around within the makeup world, because sometimes I get packages, I'm like, huh, I don't even know these people. Or I'm like, oh, who is this, or somebody just randomly message you like, hey, we see your content. And that also for me is a way of motivation because
Mm.
I'm not gonna lie and say that I want to do this every day. Some days I'm like, no, like I need to make a video and I've been procrastinating for 5 days, and I
Mm.
decided today is when I'm gonna do it
Right.
because it's not easy to work or just live, have a
Yeah.
social life, run, try to
Sure.
lose weight, go to the gym, and do content creating. It is not easy. It kills you. So
Yes.
to like sometimes when they message me and I'm like, hey, we really like your content, I'm like, that's a spark of motivation for me. I'm like, oh,
Sure.
people are really still seeing me, and that kind of propels me into getting the job done. And also people don't talk about how hard is it to edit, because I could make the content. It's one thing to make a content,
Right.
but it's another thing to sit and edit the videos to post. It's another, because I have a lot of videos that have not been posted because I just don't have the capacity to edit and to post them. So it takes a lot. It takes a lot to
Yeah.
be
The
consistent.
the hours of video and content that I have that just goes unedited is crazy. There's so much stuff out there. I mean, and I'm still finding ways to be more efficient with it. I mean, you'd be cranking them out. So like, and I know what that takes because I see it and I'm like, damn, like, like,
It
I'm
is.
like, it's a lot. It's a lot. I know what it takes, and I'm like, that's just, it's a lot to stay on top of it. Scheduling post is a big thing, right? I'm assuming you schedule a lot of your posts.
Oh no, I don't have time for that.
You
I
don't
just
really see. They say
like I
that's the best way to do it, and it's just
but
that's
you gotta
tough,
find time to
right?
put it to where it's scheduled.
You got to
So
you got to
it
get
to
ahead of your
me
content. Yeah.
exactly. So that takes even people content creation is your main source of income,
Hmm.
they have a hard time too. Like I know people who hire people to edit their stuff and
Right.
post it because it's just a lot of work.
Yeah.
So I try to be this content creator that is realistic.
Sure.
Once I have a video, I'm just gonna post it because there are other persons who do the fancy thing like boop, 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 and I mean it's cute, but
Right.
I don't. Like I try to be relatable. I try to be like, listen, this is shot on my phone, and I'm just gonna post it. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah. Yeah.
I might do a little editing there and there, but the
Right. Right.
major
Right.
editing, I think, from my kind of life that I have right now, I just don't have the capacity.
Yeah.
And people also like to know that if she picks her phone up and she's doing her makeup, or she's going for a run, or she's going to the gym, she literally just records it and posts it. People can relate to that more
Right.
than something that is extremely like super edited. And the aesthetics matter. I'm just a real girl that just posts what I do. That's it. I just want to be that girl because it takes too much from my kind of life that I have now. And also, if I want to be a fitness content creator, that's a whole lot of a job. That's a whole lot of work. So
Hmm.
it is a lot to do. It's a lot. It's a lot.
I think people are getting away from that. Like the over editing is not as intriguing anymore. They're seeking out more just genuine, like you said, simple, but
Raw
effective.
content.
Yeah, right. They just want that over anything. Um, because especially with AI now, you don't know what the hell anything is anymore, and it's just to have that type of raw content, like you said, is super important, and it's just it gives you that organic, homey feel, and it's relatable, and it's
Yeah.
good. I've, you know, I've been trying things over the years, but I always try to just stay me and be me at the end of the
Hmm.
day, so I'm finding my niche is in what I want to do, and it seems to be having an upward trajectory as of late. So I'll take that. It's but again, I just things like this, doing a podcast, it's just a fun hobby for my. If I ever get to monetize to a level where it's livable, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
But
Hmm.
certainly, of course, that would be awesome. If I could do this full time, not have to work, that'd be cool. But that's not the case.
Yeah.
So for now, it remains a hobby. It's cool. Um, so what's the journey for you outside of that? I mean, do you plan on doing anything else in terms of content creator space? Is it just it's always going to be makeup for you? Is it do you have some sort of grand goal with it, like, or even you mentioned that you sell your own product. Do you want to open up your own business? Like, where's the spin off to all this?
Ultimately, my long-term goal is to really build a makeup academy in Jamaica, where I'm from,
Mm-hmm.
because I think makeup is something that's not going to go away. It's only going to evolve. And I think persons do want to know how to do makeup, women and men. Um, but the technique is what they lack. Because, you can see someone like a very famous content creator say, hey, I got this brush. It is so good. I love it. But how do you use that brush?
Mm,
I'm kind of like the girl that's the next step. Like, I'm not about like the face product of a product. I'm like, I got this brush, and this is how you actually use the brush. Because it's one
mm-hmm.
thing to buy a product and not know how to use it. It doesn't make any sense. So, and I think it's a teacher that's embedded in me. Like, I love to teach. I love to explain things so people have an idea as to how to maximize its full potential of the product or whatever
Mm-hmm.
it is. So I ultimately want to do that. I have it written down, and I've written this down since like 2020. I'm like, I have to build or have a building where I teach makeup in Jamaica
That's
because it's
awesome.
become very popular in Jamaica. Um, and also different things like the weather. It's a tropical country,
Mm.
so what products are best to use in that country,
Right,
versus
right.
being in America and it's cold or whatever. So that's really my goal. But in terms of continue posting, I just continue posting. I try to roll with the tide to keep abreast as to what's popping or what's more relevant.
Mm-hmm.
Or sometimes I just stick to my own guns and do my own thing. It's always good to do you because people seek authenticity. Like I genuinely know that.
Mm-hmm.
So once you do what you love and not necessarily follow a trend all the time, then
Right.
people will more gravitate to you and be like, you know what, I like this. This works for me. This applies to me. Um, I don't do makeup as as a job in terms of like do other people's face,
Hmm.
but I'll do my friends and family and stuff like that. But I just want to teach it. I would be that person that teaches it. Um, give people the tool and the skills to always be better at doing makeup on themselves because it's quite expensive to always have a makeup artist. It's very expensive, and
What
makeup products are expensive.
in terms of the business model, how would you have people like pay for courses? Like what's the idea there? Or are you just teaching it for free?
No, I have a website. Well, I had it's on pause now. They could book there where I would teach them how to do their eyebrows if
Mm,
that's what they want, if that's their like least thing that they know how to do, or how to get a proper base, how to do an eyeshadow blending, or to do like a full package or full glam
mm.
makeup. So, and those classes normally last like 3.5 hours, 4 hours,
Wow. Okay.
and it goes by very fast. Trust me. So
I hear that these shows go by 2 3 hours. It's like, oh, So I hear that, but that seems like very worth it. It seems like a lot of time, as opposed to like half an hour to an hour. That's what I'm kind of thinking, But if it's three
oh
hours,
no,
you get some good knowledge out of that. Yeah, for sure.
yeah, and I'm teaching you for you to no, because it's not only like I'm talking to you, you're actually doing it on yourself. Because
Right.
I
Right.
believe practical learning is most
Mm.
memorable. Because once you're doing it while you're learning, then you're able to memorize it and do it.
Yeah, that's cool.
So that's and I would love to make like I started like a makeup pamphlet or a makeup book teaching you basic skills, how to do
Hmm.
your makeup at the most during the most efficient time. Like I gotta get to work in 20 minutes. Let me do my makeup real fast. Like just to get like a good makeup on in like the least amount of time. Working on that and just really help people to feel better about themselves. Because makeup is not just like um I'm doing it because it's a fashion thing. People
Hmm. Hmm.
genuinely do it because it builds up their self esteem and their confidence, and they do feel better about themselves leaving their house.
For sure. I mean, I'm not one, to use it, but I'm not gonna knock it. Yeah, it's not. There's definitely not a space for me to, be in. My wife doesn't. She's not huge into makeup. She does her
Hmm.
like her facial routines, but a little lipstick every now and then. But she doesn't. Even when we go out, she doesn't really do it much, or if anything at
Yeah.
all. I guess for weddings, if anything, she dolls up a little bit more. So she's not super interested in the whole thing. I don't know why. So she's just not one of those that loves it. But yeah, I mean that's awesome, man. And you look good doing it. Yeah, I love that series you're doing recently for Pride. Raising awareness for trans men, trans women, all that. That's awesome. You look great. The makeup was
Thank you.
awesome. Um, Speak more on that. For me, a little. Happy Pride, everyone. By the way, celebrations have been way underway throughout this month. A lot going on. Hopefully, going forward here at Epis Radio, I'll have some more guests on. In regards to Pride and raising awareness for the community. So I actually got some discussions going on currently right now. So stay tuned for that. Tia, you know, I don't know, it's awfully public in your bio, but you are proud member of the LGBTQIA plus community. My
Yeah.
me myself, I am a pansexual man. So you and I share this journey as well. Speak more on that. As Jamaican woman, being in that community, I know that may never be an easy thing growing up. For me, my journey, started late in life. Always
Hmm.
really just sided as just a straight male. but things change, and so I've explored over the years, and here I am. Speak more on that for me about you.
Uh, I came out later in life in comparison to some people, but I think growing up, I always knew that I did not necessarily feel attracted to men. And I want to make it clear because I've been asked questions like, oh, you don't like men. It's not, lesbians do not like men.
Hmm.
It's just that I think within the LGBTQIA plus space, the basis of it is who are you attracted to? And that's it. It's
Right.
nothing else. It's not
Right.
that you hate somebody, you don't like somebody. It's not that. It's who you are attracted to. And for me, I'm just attracted to females, and that's it. There's
Yeah.
nothing else to it. And
Yeah.
persons who are trans, bi, whatever, you are attracted to who you are attracted to. And I think when people have an understanding of that, then they have a better idea as to, okay, the same way I am heterosexual, I'm attracted to the opposite sex. That's it. Nothing else.
Right.
So growing up, I didn't really get to explore much of who I was because
Mm.
of Jamaica. Jamaica has been notorious for being homophobic.
Hmm.
Um, but growing up, I wasn't really faced with that. Only my neighbor, because I didn't used to date men in my community. I know she spread a rumor about me once. She was like, "Oh, she's a lesbian," but I
Mm.
was so innocent that I'm like, I don't even know what the hell that is. Um, but growing up, I'm from a Catholic family. I had to go to church every Sunday. But the good thing about my family is that I wasn't really pounded with like, you have to marry a man, you have to this. Like my mom was not like that.
Okay.
Within my family also, I have an aunt who is a lesbian, and my mom and my aunt are super close. So I think I was able to kind of express and kind of be myself in a sense, even though I didn't come out, because I really came out when I moved away from my family. I kind of like, I would say I found myself,
Hmm.
because I remember one day I was like, I am not attracted to men, and then I just like, you know what, I'm not dating anybody until I figure this out. And
Right.
then
Right.
eventually I started therapy, and then I came into myself. And I remember calling my friends and I'm like, hey guys, I'm a lesbian. And they're like, Tia, we knew that. We're just waiting for you. So that was really nice of my friends to be accommodating of me and accept me. So I've never really had like a super bad experience as to who I was or who I am.
Mm.
And I also know that for me being a lesbian, if you're not, like happy for me or you don't accept it, it's okay. We just don't have to be friends or we don't align. That's how I see it. It's not
Sure.
necessarily like a bad thing or what. It's just that I want to be around people who accept me for who I am.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then, I felt happy. And I mean, coming out for me was the best thing. Like once I knew who I was like, yeah, game on. This is it. And I felt better about myself and I was able
Right.
to
Right.
live my life openly. I'm not saying that it wasn't intimidating at first. It was because I was like, am I sure that I'm a lesbian or am I bisexual? But
Mm.
eventually I like, nah, you are who you are.
Right.
And I think that comes with loving yourself more, accepting who you are. And therapy did a lot for me then in
Mm.
terms of like finding myself, loving myself, and living in my truth.
I was going to ask you about your therapy journey. Is that the reason why you were seeking out a therapist, just to kind of figure out what was going on? I guess emotionally, mentally, a little bit with with your struggles with the who you were attracted to, or was it like other external factors? For me, I did therapy years after my father passed away. That was you know just to come to terms with all that and try to get through the grieving process. That was my whole point, going to therapy, and it definitely helped me. So what was your motivation to seek out help in that regard?
It had nothing to do with my sexuality. I just knew that
Okay.
I didn't have a very close relationship with my mom growing up.
Mm.
And I was closer to my grandma, and she passed when I was 15. So I
Mm.
carried that wound of grief for me for years.
Mm.
Um, and I also knew that something did not align with the way my mom and I communicated. Also because of my dad. So my dad was not around when I was growing up.
Mm.
So I kind of have like a mom wound, a dad wound. So my best friend, she's a therapist, and she would always encourage me to go to therapy. But also, like with her help, I knew why I was going to therapy because I've also know that people go to therapy and they don't know why they start therapy. I was fortunate enough to know why I needed therapy.
Mm.
So those core wounds that I had, like my mom wound, dad wound, they would only show up in like when I'm dating. So I knew that something was off. So I kind of went and I had the best therapist. Well, I still have the best therapist.
Mm.
We were we started, and honestly, I never met her in person, but we started during COVID, and it's the best experience I ever did. Like, it changed my life completely. I was able to fix myself internally, and that led to me being able to focus on how I looked and felt externally.
Mm.
So, and it kind of brought me to where I am now.
Mm. That's beautiful, man. I tell, I'll mention it to people all the time. They should seek out a therapist. By all means, they don't discourage it. It's totally helpful. It's nice having somebody that's, not a friend, family, or even acquaintance. Just it's somebody they focused in that to help you, you know,
Mm-hmm.
self reflect and really figure out, help you figure out whatever it is, is at the core issue of what is going on. I certainly had my fair share of traumas growing up, and
Yeah.
having a therapist help. I don't see a therapist anymore actually, but I've flirted with the idea of potentially going back. I even actually got my old contact back of the therapist I used to see. Apparently,
Mm-hmm.
he's not really seeing any new patients now, but he did say that he would make an exception for me, which I've
Of
considered.
course.
I'm like, because of that, I'm like, damn, because he really helped me through that time. Um, so I was like, oh, that might be a good idea, but it's nonetheless, I'm always the type that's willing to open up and have these types of conversations with my friends and family anyway. So I feel like that's helped over the years, just being open about my journey, anything. I'm an
Mm-hmm.
open book. I'll tell you. I'll let you know. I didn't really. It doesn't matter who I'm talking to, But I think that that's again, it's helped me being who I am and getting comfortable with
Mm-hmm.
my skin and my journey.
Yeah.
Like you mentioned before, some people may not align with some of the things you believe in or practice, and that's okay. But what matters more is focus on being around like-minded individuals that are more aligned with your values and all that. So that's
Yeah.
important
That's
in
important.
itself. It's so funny, by the way, because you say your aunt's a lesbian, all that. Same thing with me. um, you know, um, and it's just that whole journey. My mom was always very, open about that and accepting. My brother had a bunch of friends, gay friends come through the house. My house was always the one that, people come over and hang out at. So, it was, a lot of different walks of life coming through the doors. And my parents were always very accepting, even my father too.
Yeah.
Rest in peace.
That's
He,
good.
so it was never an issue for me, and it always allowed me that mental space to really explore my journey as well. So I never felt like I was restricted in that journey. Now the other external factors, societal factors, obviously, like, and still to this day can't be said enough. That's why we talk about things to raise awareness, because it's still very much frowned upon in a very public way at
Yeah.
times. So, and you would think by now, 2026, that would not be the case, but here we are, and it's the world we live in, unfortunately.
Yeah. Sadly, it is the
Yeah,
case, and I always encourage people to do therapy. Like,
yeah,
it is such a it and I'm not saying that, like, every profession, they're not all good,
mm,
but I think therapy is something that is more personal, that the person has to align with you.
mm-hmm,
They
mm-hmm.
have to it's like a relationship. The only thing that's missing is the romantic part of it, but it's one of the
Yeah,
longest and most healthy relationship you will have with anyone. So it's very important to ensure that you and the person align, and the person is seeing what you're trying to to do for yourself, and they should also guide you enough to know that you will get there eventually, because therapy is not just 1 month, because I've heard people say, oh, I tried it for a month and that's it. No,
yeah.
it
You
literally
can
takes
really got to give
time.
it a try. Yeah, yeah. At least like a good like 5 6 month stretch. I would
Yeah.
say like half a year. Half a year half a year to a year. You should really be doing it for, to really, but, you may not align with, the first therapist you see. So you might have to, try a few before you
Me,
actually connect on that level too. I got lucky. Well,
me
actually, no, I
too.
tried two. I found them on the second one. Took a while. So, but that's pretty good, I would say. I would say that's pretty, quick. Because the first one didn't
I
last
got
too long.
really lucky too.
You
Yeah,
know,
I got really lucky. So the first one, I had two consultations the same day,
yeah.
and I just immediately knew that
Okay.
when she came on the phone, that was her. I had no qualms. I had no qualms,
Right, right.
and it worked out pretty well, pretty well.
How often? What do you do? Like once a week session
Yeah,
or
once a
something?
week,
Yeah,
once a
yeah,
week, because
yeah.
it's expensive. I had to pay out of pocket, so it was
Mm,
really expensive. Yeah,
yeah, that's another thing. I forget that too. I haven't. It's been a while for I'm sure. I don't. Maybe my insurance would cover it. I have no idea. I have to look into that. And I forget. The going rates must have changed over the years. I mean, it's been a
yeah,
while for me. So yeah, that's a factor in itself. But and I know some people might be deterred from that. All that, but it's you're investing in yourself, right?
yeah,
Yeah, and that's how you really got to look at it. It's not you're not paying a person. You are paying a person, but you're investing in yourself, um, in your own self discovery, whatever it is,
yeah.
is
For me,
plaguing you.
it's the
So
best investment I've ever made in myself,
right.
because that investment will allow you to make better choices and to get better results in life. That's how
Mm-hmm.
I look at it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's the most expensive thing I've ever done for myself over a 4 or 5 year period.
Mm. That's
Um,
huge. Yeah.
but it got me to where I am now today,
Mm-hmm.
and that's the only way I look at it. Because I would not be here if it wasn't for that.
Yeah. How did you end up? As we transition a little bit, we now have hit just about to hit in the hour mark. We're close to it here on the show. Again, if you're hanging with us live, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Um, how did you end up finding the burners? What's that journey for you? For me, it was I kind of actually came across Rob on social media years ago. You know, knew about him, and then obviously seeing what he did, and uh, you know, creating the Bronx Burners, founding the Bronx Burners, that whole nine, and then a good friend of mine, Israel, who ended up joining the Burners a couple of years ago now, and he's been telling me ever since, you gotta come through, you gotta come through. I've been
Hmm.
seeing all this stuff for years, so I was like, all right. Yeah, finally, and then, they were gracious enough to add me to the marathon team this year, which is again can't thank them enough. Um, what was your journey? How'd you find out about them? Tell me about
I saw them. I was going to another run club consistently for
it.
a while. Um, that really did it. Meaning, at that time in my life, it did help because I was on my weight loss journey, and
Mm-hmm.
I would make the trek all the way to Prospect Park every Saturday.
Nice.
So good. But then I started feeling like it was more. Then it became more of a social club, which is
Mm,
fine. That's if
mm,
that works for you, it works for you. But I also wanted to be more a club that's more impactful.
mm-hmm.
I checked out other clubs, and then I came across. No, I was doing the Bronx 10 miler in 2024,
Mm.
and then we had to meet up at New York Roadrunners Hub to pick my bib up, and they had a little session with Rob and Shaq,
Oh,
and that's where I
nice.
met them for the first time. And they were giving tips on running if this is your first race, what you should do, and welcome to being a part of the Bronx Burners, etc. Um, they spoke about Bronx Burners, and I went over and I said hey to them, and that was the start of it. And then I
Nice.
found out where they would train, and then I wasn't so much of a regular at because it was Wednesdays. It's kind of
Mm-hmm.
tedious, if you work,
It's a tough
um,
one, yeah.
yeah. So I didn't go as regular, but I will always be engaged on Instagram. Always, always. Rob is such an inspiration. Like
Mm-hmm.
when he ran a lot of races, still running a lot of races.
Yeah.
And Shaq is a great inspiration. So I'll always keep in touch with them via Instagram. and then I would show up at the meet when I could, when I can. And then I saw that last year they had their ball, the gala, they had a scholarship. I paid for a place in the bodega, but I didn't get a chance to go. But I was like, whatever it is takes to support them, I will support them.
Mm-hmm.
I kept the breast online with the fundraising, and then we still kept in touch. And then he would also let me know what races are running with New York Road Runners, stuff like that. And then I saw they wanted persons to run with the for the marathon, and then I submitted a video, and then that's how we got here.
Nice, nice.
Yeah.
That's awesome. What was the video that you submitted? What did you do for that?
Um. No, I just spoke about how I would love to run the New York City Marathon.
Okay.
Because I was trying to get in through Strava, because like I'm running every day until Strava
Mm.
gives me a bib.
Oh, okay, I
By
didn't
any
even know that
means
was a thing.
necessary,
Yeah.
because Strava does give people bib to
Really?
run, or other brands. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
And I did a thing where I was like running 6 days a week
Mm-hmm.
until Strava gives me a bib to run the New York City Marathon.
Okay.
And then I tried getting in the marathon with different charity programs. And then I submitted the video and I said, "Hey, Bronx Runners, I would really love to be a part of this as a teacher. It's
Mm.
really good and impactful that you're giving, helping student athletes go to college and the whole spiel." And then I posted the video, and then Rob called me one night saying that, "Hey, Tia, we chose you." So
Nice.
yeah,
Oh man,
yeah,
that's awesome. Um, yeah, they're great, truly. And Rob, Shaq, super inspiring. Seeing their journey, through just social media, and now seeing it in person and the impact that they
yeah.
make is they're just great people, and they're really down to earth. It's such a chill club. I've always been kind of like weird about the whole run club thing, like you said before. Like you're the one that you were a part of, kind of turned into like a social, club thing more. So I hear that a lot, and it's like, a lot of these have gotten so overrun, so popular. Um,
Mhm.
there's actually like a local run club that apparently meets up by this park by me on Saturday mornings, which I ran into, and they're a little bit older. Than me, like all the members in the group. Like I would probably be the youngest one, so it's interesting. But it doesn't. It seems like they're open, to newcomers. So I was like, oh, maybe I connect with them. They seem pretty cool. I gotta. I want to explore more in that space, and the burners is a great way to do that. And honestly, like I feel like I'm. It's just like the whole therapist thing. I feel like I got lucky because I found them first, and like, oh, I don't know where you go from here.
I know,
Yeah.
right?
So it's like, but maybe here is where I need to be. That's the way I see that. I mean, truthfully, they're great people and a fun time. And please, anybody listening, go check them out. I've even invited a coworker of mine, and he's just starting his own run journey, and I was telling him about it because he asked me. He's like, "Hey, where were you? The other day I seen it on your Instagram," and told him about it, and I was like, come through, hang out if if he. And he was like, oh, he was worried that he would be pace shamed a little bit. And I'm like, no, 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 stop. It's truthfully like not that type of place.
Yeah.
They're cool with it, and it's a track. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, even if you are slower than the pack, you're still gonna see people. You're still gonna interact. It's not like you're running through the neighborhoods and you get like left behind. So. Not like that type of situation, So I was like, "Nah, man, come through." Like it's totally cool, and anybody listening again, check him out. Joseph Yancey track right there in front of Yankee Stadium every Wednesday, 7 p.m. Even through some pretty sketchy weather, apparently. It takes a lot for these guys to cancel.
I
So,
know, right? The last week.
yeah, the marathon meetup was rather questionable there for a moment.
I know.
But you know what? That in itself is awesome because I seen the spirit of a lot of these people, like and still stay out there and hang and not shy away from that, and that's cool too. I think there'd be a lot of people that'd be like, nah, I'm not doing this, and I'm out. Yeah, in that
Yeah,
type of
and
situation.
another thing I love with them is that they're invested in our future.
Right.
Because if I had someone like Rob and Shaq and everybody else who makes an impact at Bronx Burners, then
Yeah.
I'd probably be somewhere else. And
Yeah.
even everyone who is running now, because a lot of persons, well, I can speak for myself, pick up running as an adult.
Hmm.
Um, had I had the persons, like Rob and Shaq, then I would be probably a professional runner. I don't know, but
Hmm.
whatever it is, it's like you're investing in the persons who are going to be our future when we're older. So that's
Right.
also like a pivotal part in society, building society,
Sure.
building our future generation. And that's what I don't necessarily like with the other run clubs.
Mm.
It, there's no point of focus, and I'm a point of focus person. Like I need to know that this is happening and this is influential, and
Hmm.
because life is too short. I mean, you could have fun. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I also want, if you're interested in running, let's say you want to run, some run clubs are not going to apply to you, and that's
Right.
just what it
Right.
is. But if you want to really expand your running career per se, and you want to run faster, you want to be around people with like-mindedness, you have to find the right run club that works for you.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Like you said, it's some are just become like social gatherings, social meetups, where the focus is not really, running. Some even go into the bars and hanging out afterwards, getting
Oh
grabbing a
yeah.
drink. And that, I guess, again, if that's cool, if that aligns with you, that's what you're seeking out, then that's what you're seeking out, right?
Mhm.
That's also cool. Yeah, but it's just, yeah, that's not, for me, it's not what it's about. Again, I like, yeah, I want to get better as a runner, and certainly these people, here at Bronx Burners have the tools, the resources, the knowledgeable people
Mhm.
that can provide that type of help, and they've been just amazing in giving you that resource, especially being a part of the
Definitely.
marathon team. I'm using that endorphins running app now. I never even knew about that app. Never tried it. I really like it. It's cool. It's very interactive. It is, there is a paywall, but Bronx Burners do offer, basically a year, free trial. It's I guess it's lasting up until the marathon or whatever. I forget when it necessarily expires, but
Oh,
it's
cool.
it almost. Did you not? You check that out? You get that link for that?
No, I didn't actually. I gotta check it out.
Oh, all right, they put it in the Bronx Burners chat. Yeah, so there's a promo code for it, so you have access to it as well.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna do that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'll send it to you. But if you scroll up in the WhatsApp chat, you'll see it. I did think it was in the marathon team one, if I'm not
Okay.
incorrect. Yeah, but it's very cool. Like I use Strava as well. I don't pay for Strava. I used to, just decided not to anymore. And but now using this, it's definitely a lot of AI tech in regards to your workout plan and all that. But it provides you so much knowledge and insight into what is going on with you and your training, and lays out a nice little training program for you day by day and all
Mhm.
that. It's just, so it's pretty awesome. I like it.
That's good.
You have a run coach, correct? I don't think you mentioned that early in the show.
I do have a run coach. Shout out to
Okay.
Amanda.
Yes, yes. How long have you been with your run coach now? Is this the first run coach you have ever had, or what's the situation with that?
Yeah, it's my first run coach because
Yeah.
I mean I haven't been running for long, but I also knew that training for the marathon is not just on a whim. You can't just you can if you
Hmm.
want to just go run it if you want, but
Sure,
I
you
also
could.
wanted to prepare myself the best way to do it
Right.
rather than just doing my own thing and also having some form of accountability with someone who's a professional,
Hmm.
because I thoroughly believe in paying people for what they specialize in. I'm a
Hmm.
firm believer in that. If that's your thing and you offer training for it, I will pay you. That's I'm not going to debate that. So I don't remember how I came across her on Instagram one day, but she immediately clicked to me, and I was like, you know. I'm sorry, and she's always very encouraging underneath my post, whatever post I post.
Mm,
And then I like her content because she's giving you realistic advice on being a runner, an
mm,
efficient runner, a good runner, whether it's cold, rainy, hot season, whatever it is. And she's a certified strength coach and all of that. She's
mm-hmm.
certified. But I just like her relatability. Like she's able to get down to you and understand what you're saying and like better advise you as to how to get better at your running. Because I recently told her that I prefer to run 100 miles on the treadmill than go outside,
Mm.
literally. And it's like it's like I had a mental block of running outside,
Really?
and I expressed that to her, and we found ways to go around that, and she encouraged me to just go, give it a shot, run outside, and I did that, and it felt good actually. And it's so crazy. It's like I've run so many races, but training outside is just not my thing,
Hmm.
especially in the heat. Like it's too hot.
The
It's
heat is
just
terrible. Yeah, the heat is, especially the last couple of days. No doubt about it. Not easy. But the mental toughness to run on a treadmill is insane to me. I can't do it. I hate it. I
I'm
truthfully
the
can't.
opposite.
I will be outside in -10 degrees. I've done it. I'm not even joking. And run before I run. I don't
I'm the
have a treadmill
opposite.
either, but I've run on a treadmill at like the gym before. I've done like 6 miles, and I'm like, this is an eternity. I feel that way on the stationary bike as well. I have a stationary bike at home, and man, do I hate it. I can't.
That
I
is
was like,
so funny.
yeah.
I'm the opposite. I'll run forever on a treadmill.
Oh no.
Forever and ever. I'm in another world. Whatever is on my phone is like I'm just transported in another world. I get the runner's high running on the treadmill. That's how serious it is.
I mean, what I like the treadmill because it really focuses on pace. Like you could really nail your pace down. It's
Yeah.
very consistent. So I'm saying it's very predictable, the terrain, obviously, since you're on a treadmill. So it's just you really nail into that. You see the stats, right there. So and that's what I
But
like
it
about
can
it.
be a
But
little misleading though.
uh, I get well, yeah, right. You definitely want to, and I think the watch doesn't necessarily pick it up perfectly either on the treadmill because that was my experience at least with my Garmin watch. I don't know, but either way, I just like the being in the same spot. Like at that point, I need like a television screen or something in front of me. I need to be watching something. Um, no, I can't do that. I got to get outside. I got to
You know
move.
what? I got into it when I was training for my second half marathon. My
Yeah.
first half marathon was super super slow, like 3 hours.
Okay.
3 hours and change, and then my last one I shaved off almost 20 minutes off.
Okay.
So it really helped me during the winter months to train for that. But I
Yeah.
don't mind going out to run in the winter months. I've been out in rain, sleet, snow to run, but the summer is just it's beating me real bad.
I've been a little discouraged the last couple of days myself. I was supposed to do 10 miles this morning, but had a late night, so decided, all right, I'll do it after the show and all that. So I'm gonna probably go for my run a little. I'm gonna try to go late in the evening now. Maybe gotta get ready for the next game. Shout out to the Knicks,
Yeah.
game 5 tonight. All right.
Yes.
One win away. One win away. Got to get ready for that. And actually, folks, anybody that's watching right now on Twitch and YouTube, I will be streaming again later tonight, episode 79. All right. I will be, it's a game 5 live reaction. I've done it for every game so far this series. So join me for that if you can. Um, but, so I got to get ready for that. So it's somewhere I got to squeeze in my 10 miles. I don't know. So I might have to be dealing with the heat. It's been terrible. I don't blame you.
It's been so humid.
I've found ways like I'll find through the neighborhood anybody that's got their sprinklers on or whatever, and I'll go like run through their sprinkler, or I find a park that has the sprinklers going. So I know my routes around here well enough now so that I can run through some water and cool off. But man,
Yeah,
is it brutal? Like
it
brutal,
is.
and it's
I ran
discouraging.
early yesterday. I ran early yesterday, and I said, "Oh, let me get up at 5 to be out the house by 6."
Yeah.
When you're out at 6 and then the sun starts coming up, we're like, I should have gotten out the house at 5 because you're trying to beat the heat at all costs,
That's what people in
and
Florida do. They don't run during the day. You either run really early or late at night. That's it. There's no in between. Yeah.
And the late at night doesn't really work for me because
Yeah.
I'm beat late at night. Unless it's on a treadmill, I'll definitely do that. But
You have. I'm
but
assuming you have a treadmill at home.
no, the gym is really close by, like 8 minutes
Okay.
walk,
Gotcha.
and
Gotcha.
the gym
Yeah.
closes at like at 12 a.m. Like it's
Nice.
very late. But
Okay.
I do need to run outside because my trainer was telling me that I have to get used to the terrain. It's not a flat run. The New York City Marathon
Mm.
is not flat.
No.
So the terrain will build my endurance, and it's like I ran a couple times and I had a panic attack. Like my lungs just totally caved in, and I'm like, what the hell? I don't
Mm.
feel this way on a treadmill. Like I could go for miles, and it's
Right.
not that my feet don't hurt at all. I know I have endurance in terms of my feet, but it's like my lungs. Like I need to work on my breathing also, but that's a
Mm.
part of it. So she's encouraging me to go challenge the hills because there's a lot of hills in my area, a
Mm-hmm.
lot of hills. Um, so she said encourages me to go. Don't watch your pace, but
Yeah.
climb the hill, run, and let your body get used to the terrain around you because that's what it's going to be on race day anyway.
Right. Yeah, hill work is super important. You need some elevation, gain in your training program, no doubt. That's why, every now and then I'll hit the mountains and I'll go, trail run just to get, my fair share of elevation gain. Because it'll change it. It's a game changer for you. And New York City is one of the tougher ones in terms of elevation gain. They get you.
But yeah,
Those bridges suck. And I think it's really that 59th Street Bridge, here in Queens going into Manhattan. That shit gets you. I've done it growing
yeah,
up. Like it's not easy. So yeah, get used to it. Even I encourage going there and actually doing it. Like just travel to Queens, parking or whatever however you travel, come through Long Island City and run it. Go run it. My boy Israel did that a couple of times as part of his training program, because especially that late in the race, I forget what mile exactly it's at, but it's probably like what mile like 17 or something like that. I forget. I don't know.
oh,
But it's not a good space to be in at that type of mile. Like that's you gotta dig deep for that. Usually
is
for
that
a
the
lot
bridge
of
that is
people,
really quiet?
yes, yes. So that's there's no
Okay.
spectators. That's another thing. But I think that's awesome though. I don't know. I think I'm gonna love that. That's gonna be my favorite part of that, honestly. Just for me. I want to just hear everybody's footstep and just I know I could get into a zone with that. That'll be very fun. And it's like weird eerie thing, like everybody's just on there. I
I
can't wait for
know.
this race. Like this is just gonna be amazing. Um and then for you, I mean, I know this is your first marathon experience, so that
Yeah,
in itself, that's even crazier to me. I could never
it
imagine that.
is.
Like I've done four now, and again, there's a couple ultra marathons, so I've run the marathon space now quite a bit, and I feel very comfortable running that distance. But New York City obviously has its own challenges.
Hmm.
But I think the mental uplift that we would get from just all the spectators, that in itself is just going to carry me to that finish line.
It is.
You know, I have a goal pace, but I don't know. I'm not like married to like I don't like have to hit it. For me, I'd really want to focus on just enjoying it and embracing it, and then taking it all in, and being
Yeah,
grateful for actually being able to be there and being healthy enough to be there, and knock on
yeah,
wood.
that's true.
Knock on wood. Hopefully, we're both healthy enough. Come
Yeah,
the start line. That's always a
I just want
concern.
to finish. For me,
Yeah.
I
No,
just
you
want
will.
to
You will.
finish. I just want to be healthy enough, like what you said, fit enough, to finish.
Yeah.
Um, because I mean, it's a big deal. Because one is like a dream come true.
Hmm.
Um, two, we're only what 1.5% of the entire world that's doing a marathon. That's huge. And
Hmm.
the 20 weeks we have left, because I just checked my phone, we have 20 weeks left, and the 20 weeks is gonna go by so fast.
Right.
Yeah, because I'm like, oh, I'm on week 3 already of training. What the hell, you
Oh
know?
yeah, it's coming.
So,
It's coming. Get ready. Yeah. It's
so that's
now.
why I said to myself, like for this training period, it's heavy and it's only going to get heavier as it goes by. Because I also strength train. I love going to the gym.
Hmm.
So like yesterday after I did my 4 miles, I took my ass to the gym. I had a whole workout session. It's a lot. It's a
Yeah.
lot. So today's my rest day. Um, so I don't want nothing that stresses me for the next 20 weeks. I'm not
Hmm.
engaged in anything too stressful. I just want to chill. And the only thing that's supposed to be bugging me is wanting to get up to run and just forcing, like pushing myself to run, not forcing myself. But having like additional stress that's not necessary, I'm really opting out of it because
Yeah.
I really want to give it my best, my all, be in the right headspace for it. So I'm looking forward to, like keeping the promises to myself and preparing myself for it because it's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be crazy.
No, and you listen. You, in terms of finishing, you will finish. You will get across that finish line. I have no doubt. Movement is
Same for you.
medicine. Get there. Thank you. I appreciate it. Um, I can't wait. To toe that line with you. It's just the experience in itself will be amazing. And we can't forget. Should have mentioned it a little bit earlier, but you do have a raffle giveaway right now. Please let everybody know about that. And I
I
have your page
do.
up, right now. That's where you can find her links for everything.
Let me see. Um, so in order to like, people will donate, but people got to see where they're donating to. So I thought
Hmm.
that I would use my platform as a way to encourage people to donate. So I have like a box full of goodies that's
Mm.
just like simply makeup stuff. As you can see it before it falls
Hold
over.
on. Let me
So
put.
this is worth.
Show it again one more time. Show it one more time. Sorry, I had your profile up. There you go. We can even do a close up right here. You get the solo screen. There you go. All right.
Yeah. So all of this is like worth over $300. These are all brand new products that I've never been used. So each $5 that you don't donate gets you an entry in. So I'll have the raffle on June 18th, and then I will do another one. So I'm trying to have more than one just to keep the pace going.
Mm.
And I also have accumulated a lot of makeup, obviously, by doing makeup. And it's a good way to get rid of some, to give away to persons who are also contributing to the good cause that we're doing.
Hmm.
And so if you donate $20, that's 4 entries in and so forth and up. I've had a few contributors here, so that's really good. But I think
Nice.
this is a cool way to get people to donate, to encourage them to donate. Because raising 5 grand is not easy. Five
No,
to
it is
sixty
not.
grand is not easy.
Yeah, yes. You know, I was told that it's always good to set the bar high that way because obviously the minimum fundraising goal for us is $4,000. But
Hmm.
I was told that you should aim a little bit high. That way, you know you will meet your goal. Because it just it kind of sets the tone for the whole fundraising campaign. So yeah, I'd be ecstatic if I could get that high. It's okay that I don't. It's fine. As long as we hit our goal, that'd be great. But
Yeah.
hopefully, I could find some ways. Yeah, I'm still trying to figure out ways. I really, I'm really interested in doing like a fundraising event. Kind of like sponsored by my show and my podcast and kind of intertwine sports and mental health and maybe getting like families involved and doing like a
Hmm.
charity basketball game or something like have like kids play, have families play, moms, dads, whatever. You know
Oh yeah, that sounds good.
a little cookout, food, things like that. So basically, like pay admission to it. All proceeds go to the fundraiser. Go and just speak on it. I even I asked Rob some advice on it. So just it's still in the early stages of discussing, but I'm thinking like right now maybe in August I can organize something like that. I don't know, and then maybe even just like cooking, at my job. I love we love to cook. I used to sell like empanadas at my job for a little bit, so I could you know maybe do that on a weekly, and everything I
Yeah.
sell, go to the fundraiser. So trying to find other ways, outside of just
Yep.
promoting it online, but because you're right, it is, it's kind of, and I've talked with a lot of people about this. Fundraising itself, for the marathons, it's a bit of a racket. A lot of these charities are asking astronomical numbers, but it's nice to see where your money goes, like you said,
Yeah.
and people want to see where their donation goes. And
Yeah.
the Bronx Burners give you that, that's why I always told people, because I was pressured, a lot of people, oh yeah, join up this charity, join up with that charity. It's like all these big ones, and I was like, nah, I really want to find something that aligns with my values, and that I just I vibe with in itself in that aspect. And well, when I knew about the burners, like I said, seeing everything they've done on social media, I'm like, this is where I want to be with that, and if they
Mhm.
didn't accept me this year, that that's cool. I would have just accepted the fact that I wasn't running New York City. Honestly, like I tried to lottery. The whole racket of going through the 9+1 is a lot. So it's
Mhm.
just I again with the kids. Not that I couldn't do it. It's just it's an investment.
It is.
It's an investment of your time, your money, the whole nine. It's not that I can't run it. I could run it. I could run these races. I run a lot as is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, just I run for free.
It adds up. I
you
mean,
know?
buying a race ticket, it adds up because
Oh yeah.
nothing is below $60 these days
Nah.
with a medal. And I only
Mm.
run races with medals. I'm sorry.
I agree. You have to get the medal. You have to get the medal. Yeah. I remember.
So,
Oh, you would hate this. So I ran the Adirondack Marathon for the second year in a row last year. I don't think I'll be running it this year. Um, and I forget when it is. It's like a September 20th, September 22nd, something like that. I don't think I'll be running it this year. I've run it for the past 2 years. That was where my first marathon was. Very hard marathon.
uh,
Very hard marathon. More elevation gain than the New York City marathon. Like
oh, wow.
crushing amount of elevation gain. And to run that as my first one was absurd. I think my first one was like 4 hours and 35 minutes. It was
Mm,
good, or it was good, but
that's good time.
like just not what I wanted really. And that's when I learned, the marathon distance can kill you. Um, because man, I hit that wall at mile 16 like you wouldn't believe. But in the second year that I ran it, we didn't get like a traditional like medal. It was like
Mm,
this little, it was like this fake medal. It was like a plastic placard that had a pin in it, and it was like a pin that was AKA your medal. The first year that they gave it to was a nice medal. It was a decent medal. Wasn't crazy about the design. I thought it could have been better, but it was cool. I'll take it. It was my first marathon ever. Second, for some reason, they went with this like new startup company that has this rather innovative idea to that you can wear your medal. But part of the company is that they gonna get you to buy their designed hat that has holes in the hat so that you can put these pins of all your medals in the hat. And that's how like you wear your medal, and you can take your medal with you everywhere and all that. That was their whole like running campaign with the business model. Cool, and I like that. Some that might be for some people. It's not for me.
mhm.
It's not for me.
For
I'm
real.
I'm with you. I need my damn medal. I need to bite it. I need to look at it. Where's mine? I think
Exactly.
I have mine. I have a bunch of them over here, but I don't have. Where's my AD? Oh yeah, my first ADK medal is actually in the case right there. That's right. My mother put that together for me as a gift. That was very cool. So, but yeah,
Yeah.
I
That's
hated that
cute.
out there. I was like, yeah, come on. How could you do this? And
I
a
know,
lot of
right?
people were pissed about it. I'm not gonna lie. There was a couple of people that came out to ask, like, "Hey, did you run this last year? Like, what did they do?" They were like newcomers to the race, and I was like, "Yeah, they did not do this last year." And so I think they received some backlash because of it. Again, it might be for some people, but not for me. Um,
Mm-mm.
we're gonna be getting out of here shortly. Not quite yet. Still gonna hang out, talk a little bit more. I definitely want to get Tia's sports take. All right, we got this is a sports podcast at the end of the day, or at least that was the main conception about it. It's kind of transformed a bit. Now it's really becoming just a podcast where I do a bunch of interviews, which I kind of like. I think that's what I always enjoy talking to people, and I the whole focus of this show and what me and my original co-host had in mind, was to really just find like-minded people, bring people on, highlight them and their journeys. And
Yeah.
this year has been a bit of a transformation, for the Epis Radio Entertainment and the podcast itself, the two podcasters that we do. And we focused a lot on interviews this year. It's been great. We've had musicians on, educators like yourself, just great people, like-minded people, and doing more in that space. I hope to have more burners on. You are not the first burner to be on. I got to give credit to my boy Israel, since he's been a part of the burners. He's been on a couple of times. So you're the second burner to be on. I hope I'd have more.
Ooh.
Shaq was agreeing to come on, so I'm like, man, if Shaq's willing to come on, I can't. I'm gonna be on. I can't
Of
wait for that.
course.
That'd be awesome. Well, I'm gonna keep trying for Rob though. Eventually, I haven't asked him yet, but it's coming. I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna save him for last. Best for last. It's gotta work. But
Of course. I like
to,
further down, closer to the marathon too.
yeah, right. I actually think that would be a good idea. You're right. Again, I want to thank you for coming on. You the site, like I said, and I mentioned off the top of the show. When I first met you, I don't know if you felt the same, but I was like, I immediately vibe with this person. I just had a good feeling
Yeah.
about you. And
Same.
and it was cool that when I, look you up online, I'm like, oh shit, like my coworkers follow you and all that. I'm like, that's wild to see. And I'm like, like then now here I am talking to you, and I can't wait. You and me are gonna go hiking together.
Yes.
If you're down, we could kind of turn it into a little bit of a trail run, since you need to work on some hills and different terrain. I could
I'm
challenge you a
down.
little bit with that. You know what I'm saying? What's your like long run right now? Where are you at with that? Like, what do you consider a long run? Because everybody has their own definition in regards to that.
A long run is anything over 10 miles. The longest I've ever ran
Okay.
was 15 miles.
Okay. All right. So that's good to know. So yeah, like I could do. I got some spots. I got some
Hmm.
spots. Like I could definitely do like a couple of locations where we're getting like a good 10 to like 12 miles total, with some elevation gain and all that. If you be down to that,
Of course.
doesn't have to be running the whole time. In fact, one. How have you ever? I take everybody here, so I always like ask if you've been here or not. Have you ever been to the Delaware Water Gap?
No, I haven't.
Okay, so there's a very now famous mountain there. Two mountains, Mount Tammany and Mount Mincy, that basically split the Delaware Water Gap at the New Jersey Pennsylvania borderline. Um, Nice little scenic drive if you ever can go, whatever. And
I was just down there the other day. I was just down by
okay,
Pennsylvania and New Jersey the other day.
nice.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you ever got a chance to drive through it at night, kind of sucks because you don't get to actually see what it has to offer. But beautiful scenic little drive, windy road, and there's these two mountains in between. I've been going there ever since I was younger. I go there a lot. And often in a lot of my training blocks, I end up doing a 20-mile trail run there, slow pace because it has so much elevation gain. But it's I do like a loop twice, and each loop is yeah, it's like a little over 10 miles. So I think it ends up being like roughly like 21 miles, something like that.
Uh,
Um, Absolutely love it. Beautifully scenic, and any time of the year, truthfully. I've been there in all seasons. So I take everybody there a lot of times, as like, but it's a bit far. It's about like a 2.5 hour drive from me. A little bit of traffic could be more. There's other spots I have more closer to, Westchester area, all that. So, you know, um, I'll see. I'll throw some options your way, but I'm looking forward to us hanging out and
yeah.
doing that. That was also something that I was considering doing, is like get specifically with the burners, like maybe like organizing like a hike or a trail run. Because I
That'd be
just,
cool.
again, I love I love hiking. It's why I started my running journey. it was just a way to explore more areas quicker, um,
Mhm.
and I got into this habit of climbing the Catskills, climbing the Adirondack mountains, and I because they're so far away from where I live, I wanted to be able to experience more in a little time. So now, I try to like summit multiple mountains a day and all that when I do go to these areas. And running was just a perfect way to, do that. So I would love to, organize some hikes, do that. Even, being a guide eventually, I've considered, down the line, getting a certification for that. That'd be cool.
Oh, that's cool.
I
Yeah,
don't know.
that'd be cool.
So yeah, I'll send you some options. But yeah, definitely start doing some hill work for sure. I know with my training plan currently on Monday, I think it's Monday or Tuesday, I have hill work coming, so I can't wait for that. I got a perfect
I
hill by my
avoid the
house.
hills.
Nah, man. Lean into it. That's where the change happens, And the strength training. You got a strength train too,
I am. I am going to lean into it.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, it sucks. It's not. That's the thing. We make light of it. Social media makes light of it, but it is not easy doing this. It is not
No,
easy running a marathon. We normalize this shit too much, people.
it's
It's-
true. It is so true. It is so true that that's what they do. They make it seem like, hey, and then you become so caught up on what your pace is when that's
right?
not really the whole point of training.
No, no.
Training is to get
Mm,
you efficiently ready for the marathon.
right.
Because that one reason why I avoid the hills, I'm like, oh my god, it's gonna slow my pace down, and I need
Mm,
to get over that. I need to
yeah, yeah, yeah.
just yeah,
It's still weird. Like yesterday, I was trying to hit my pace goal, and I was for a little bit, but I think because of the heat, my heart rate jumped above 140, and was like consistently staying at 150. And technically, that's like zone 3 training, where I'm trying to run in zone 2,
I'm going
which
to.
is the 140, right? That 130,
You know,
130,
it's so
140.
funny that earlier I was watching this cardiologist talk about what runners do wrong when running in the heat. It's
Mm,
like you're running at the same pace for
right,
like 10, 20 minutes, 40 minutes, and then all of a sudden your heart rate just shoots up over 140. And he
right,
said it's only because your body's overworking. It's nothing is
right.
wrong. You're
You
still
need
running
to
at the same pace.
chill.
Your body is just producing a way to cool down its own self.
Mm,
So that's why your heart beats more to pump the blood all over your body because you're working more in the heat.
right.
So he said it's not like you're going slower or, like you need, so you actually need to listen to your body and slow down at that time.
So now I was actually see that's so funny that you say that because I was literally considering that same thought. I was thinking yesterday, man, it's probably just because I'm doing too much, and I considered walking. And I was like, or just stopping completely and just hanging out for a
Yeah.
little bit, drink some water, and then restarting my run. And I didn't do that. I stubbornly like kept on going.
Hmm.
I'm like trying to slow down my pace. I mean, like almost to the point where I'm running so slow, slower than normal. Like I'm running like at 10:40, 10:50 at times, and I'm like, for me that's considered slow, and I'm like, it still was not getting low, and I just and I was fighting it, and I fought it till the end. I'm like, all right, yeah, I'm just gonna accept that I was staying in 150 for a good portion there.
Yeah.
And now you know what? Now that you say that, I'll take that advice today. If I hit that 150, maybe I'll just stop, take a seat, maybe relax, even walk a little bit, and just try to cool down. I guess
Yeah,
yeah, yeah. Because this sucks. Yeah, this heat is terrible.
it is.
Yeah. Have you run the last couple of days outside, or is it you've been on the treadmill?
No, no, no. I mean, I have to run outside now. It's no
Okay.
questions asked.
Yeah, I mean, you
I
can do
went outside
treadmill every now
yesterday.
and then, but are you full outside? That's it? No more on the
Well,
treadmill?
on unless I'm strapped for work, like
Okay.
timing is, But tomorrow I have my long run. It's gonna be outside.
Yeah.
It's gonna be outside. I'm gonna try to wake up early, like 4:30, um, and try to be at the house around 5:30. You
Mm,
know,
mm,
and another thing
God
is
bless.
the carb intake. It's killing me. My trainer and I fight about this all the time.
Mm,
It's like you, because that's one of the things that has helped me lost weight is not eating so much processed
carbs.
carb.
Uh,
But I think when you look at food as a fueling thing rather than just enjoyment. You need carbs. I'm not
Sure.
against carbs. Believe me, you need carbs to
Yeah.
run. You definitely need carbs, especially running and training 4 or 5 times a week. You definitely need carbs. You
Yeah,
know.
carbs and electrolytes, soda, you need it all, man. You can't go without it. Your body will break down,
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
I
just
mean,
ordered a pack of salt stick just now on Amazon because
mm.
they were saying that you need the salt for the electrolytes.
Yeah, I do salt tablets. I could send you the ones I use. I love them. Usually, and especially in this type of heat, if you're gonna be out there a while, like today, I need to bring a couple. I'll probably bring my running vest or a belt or something with me today, or good shorts I could carry everything in. Because I'm gonna need some salt tablets out there today for 10 miles. I usually do like two every half hour, ideally. You could probably get away with two tablets per hour, but you really, in this type of heat, you really want to double down with that. It's necessary. And yeah, if you can, I do the gels. Gels are big, especially in the marathon space, ultra
Yeah.
marathon space. You could just stop and eat a sandwich, which is cool. I love that. I'm a big
Yeah.
foodie, so my problem is eating late. I say it all the time on here, man. I just, that's why I have a belly, because, I love tacos. I love late night eating. I'm good, it's just, it is what it is. My wife, is no better. She's, we call it second dinner. It's a problem, you know. Yeah, but and I run to maintain this, basically at the end of the day. So,
Yeah.
but
With
it's
the
cool.
running, you'll get away with it.
Yes, for sure. But I got to do better. I know it. That's my Achilles heel when it comes to it. But yeah, the tablets, definitely. If you haven't experimented, we go for it. I like the salt tablets. You could just take straight up
When
salt.
someone was a nutritionist was saying that the capsules are better because they distribute the salt better, and I
Okay.
think you have 200 and almost 300 grams of sodium
Okay.
as per the salt tablets. Salt tablets are convenient for sure. You could just pop them in, chew them, and
Right.
along your run.
I'm I'm
Yeah.
I'm wondering. So you're just gonna pop the capsule, right? You're not like breaking it and like popping the powder in. You're just gonna pop, because for me, like I would probably have to stop while I'm running to do that.
No, they were saying
Yeah.
that you take it before your run, and then along the run you do the chewables.
Okay. 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 Yeah, I
Yeah.
recommend that more for sure. Because if I gotta pop a
Yeah.
capsule during my,
No,
somebody's
no.
choking. Somebody's choking.
I know, right?
uh,
Yeah, I know.
that would not be good. And the chewables are, it's a little weird. It's like anything, like the goos and all that. It takes some getting used to. So those, but I don't mind it now. You chew them up real quick, a little swig of water, you'd be fine.
Yeah. Yeah,
Um,
you'll be fine.
do you use like any like hydration powder? Like I use Tailwind, and Tailwind has carbs and electrolytes. It's like has literally built-in carbs in it, so it will fuel you better as you run. Um, I carry that with me, especially during this type of heat. Do you use anything like that, like powders?
I've never tried Tailwind before, but I do have I forgot the brand. I got it. It's like a carb powder also.
Okay.
Or I use Scratch.
Okay,
Scratch has
Scratch
some
is
good
good.
ones. Yeah, Scratch,
I
yeah.
prefer Tailwind over Scratch. Scratch is very common in the ultra marathon space. Tailwind is too, but
Tailwind is very popular.
I've seen a lot of races really carry Scratch. At least the ones that I've experienced. For some reason, I just maybe they're not putting enough of it, in whatever concoction they got going on. But I feel like the Tailwind has worked better for me. Then again, I'm usually the one that's making sure the amounts I'm
But
intaking
Scratch has
is
two
good.
different ones. Scratch has a carb hydrate. It's not even hydration. They have a carb powder and
Mm,
they have a hydration powders. But yours is sounds better, of course, because Tailwind has both combined, which is better.
right. Yeah. Okay. I didn't even know that. So now that's questionable whether or not which one they're using in the races.
Mm. Yeah,
How
because
do you
yeah,
know? Yeah, that's good to know actually. So yeah, maybe that was the difference. Maybe it's why I didn't feel as replenished. When I at the times when I did use scratch on certain races at certain
I'm definitely
points.
gonna
Yeah.
try tailwind.
Yeah, yeah, no, yeah. Ultra runner friend, he's actually been on the show a couple of times before. He's mentored me, for certain training blocks, and continues to be a resource for me. He turned me on a tailwind, and man, I thank him for it. It's great, easy on the stomach. Never had any issues with it. Not too expensive either. You could buy a big bag, last you for a
Yeah.
while, and yeah, it's great. I feel full. Like I don't even in my ultra running races, I haven't felt the need to like eat a lot of food if I'm as long as I'm drinking enough tailwind at times. You still gotta eat food eventually. Potatoes, pickles, whatever. Quesadillas, all that good stuff. Gotta love the ultra running community.
I know. I get
but
to eat.
yeah, you get to eat, man. It's a different. First time I experienced it, I was like, wow, this is so much different than running a road marathon. It's so nuts. But I love the road marathon too. But if you're a fast runner in the road marathon, you take a couple of gels, you're good. You'd be all
You're
right.
good. Yeah, you push by.
That's it. It's not. You don't have to worry about all that. Be fine. The slower runners, anybody out there 5 hours longer, that's when you really should consider eating stuff. I'll say because it's not even 4+ hours. It's not easy being out there that long
No.
and on your feet. Um, I've heard arguments. A lot of debates going back and forth on it's harder to run a 4 hour than it is to run like a sub 3 and things like that. That's a weird debate to have because when I think about running a sub 3, I think about I'm gonna die. Like there's no way it's gonna happen. Like I would end up in a hospital. But I hear what they're saying. I hear the argument because to be on your feet that long, man, it wears you
Keep pushing
down.
your body. Six
Yeah.
hours, 7 hours is crazy.
Ah,
That's
crazy,
like,
crazy.
yeah.
Yeah.
But you know those guys in London that did it in an hour and what, 48 minutes, one
Well,
hour and 59 minutes.
I think it was like the official time was 1:55 something, and that's been
One,
1:55, 1:56. Was it? Let's see. I gotta check now.
yeah,
Yeah.
like 159. The guy from Ethiopia, I think, did
Right.
159.
Yeah, both of them broke the record, and the
That's
sub 2
crazy.
record on the same race. The only one outside of it was Eliud Kipchoge, who, really, I think should hold that record. By the way, because I know it was a bit of an experiment. He had pacers, he had
Yes, yeah, I
LED
remember that.
stuff and all that, but not for nothing. Like he still got to actually physically do that. I know he had like people aiding him, and again the whole night. It's just you still physically have to run those miles and that pace time. That is absurd to do. So I don't know, but I'm looking it up right now. I want to check festival time. It
London.
was 1:59. Yeah,
Yeah, 48,
yeah.
I think.
Sebastian Sawi at yeah, and then for the women, it was a 2:09 marathon, which is
Yeah,
just insane. Yeah,
insane.
1:59. Yeah. Yeah, that's absurd. I'd be lucky to break sub 3 eventually in my life. I don't know if I'll ever get there. My goals right now is sub 4, and that's cool. And listen, if I don't hit it, I don't hit it either. You know, that's what I'm working towards. Right now, my endorphins app does not believe I could achieve that, which is funny. It's still trying to figure me.
Endurance. AI is so crazy. I
Yeah,
think someone
yeah.
posted about that too, and what they watched predicted that they would run, and he totally beat that.
Yeah, I mean it's crazy because again I've already done it, so like my fastest marathon is 4 hours 17, and like
Wow.
the endorphins app is telling me, buddy, you're not breaking sub 5. It's,
God.
yeah, it's like wow, you really you're just in a terrible space.
My God. See, that's not good for my mental health.
I know.
That
I'm
is
like, I
crazy.
think it's because I'm starting. Like, I literally, this is the first official training block week. I've been running, like I consistently run, but I've been, I would say for the last month, pretty low mileage. 10 to 20 miles a week. You know, nothing crazy. This week, 30 miles. You know,
Mm-hmm.
minimum. I think I'm 30 plus this week. So I'm pretty much just going to be from here on out anywhere from 30 to 50 miles a week. Um,
Let's see if they change that.
you know, nah, it doesn't seem to be deviating from that. So I'm handling the mileage, but it still thinks I'm going to be running it at a pretty slow pace.
So see, I'm not signing up for endorphins. It's gonna tell me that
No, no,
I'm gonna need 10 hours.
don't be discouraged. You have a running coach though, so you have your set plan. But it is a good indicator to at least see some stats. Like, I don't know, do you pay for Strava or no?
I just started paying again for this month. And maybe I won't
Okay.
continue because I'm just like, there's nothing
Yeah,
really on
screw
Strava like
Strava. You don't
anymore.
really need it. I don't. You know. I mean,
Yeah,
whatever. If you want it, it works for you. But again, eventually you're gonna have to pay for endorphins. But it's free for you now through the Bronx Burners, obviously. So you might as well utilize it. That's the way I look at it.
yeah,
If you don't like it, you don't have to, you know. But the insights it gives you is very good. It's very good. And I think again, I started the training block in this 95, 99 degree heat. So it's
yeah.
clearly basing my time off on that, and it's only the first week. So because I love running in cold weather, you know, give me 40
Me
degrees,
too.
30 degrees all day, I'm
Mm,
there.
yep.
I am there. No problem. I've done it through snow if I need to. It's all good. Um, but I know I can run much faster than this. It's just, and like you said before, maybe learn ways. You know, find during your routes, find ways to drink water, cool down, take a break. It's okay to. You could pause the watch. You don't have to pause the watch. It doesn't matter. It'll know your running time and your elapsed time, and you'll know the
Hmm.
difference too. You know, it doesn't. You know, I used to be weird about it, but it's like nobody cares about your time. Truthfully, that's why I love the ultra running community because nobody
Nobody
cares.
cares.
Nobody cares about
Yeah.
pace time. You know, unless you're like the elite of the elite, which you're just trying to win a race. Fine, but
Even Courtney, she doesn't care
right.
about her time. Just
No,
run.
it's right. And
She's just a
she
fast runner.
right.
Killian
Exactly.
Killian Hornet doesn't care about his time. He just runs.
Yeah. So, and that's what you need to focus on. The marathon community is a
Yeah.
little bit more. Everybody's interested in the times, things like that. It seems more meaningful in this space, but that's again, it's to each his own. It's people have different reasons, different reasons they're on this running and fitness journey. So yeah. We're gonna get out of here shortly. I can't let you go though without getting your sports take. Are you first of all, are you a sports fan? Are you kind of grew into it? What do you got? It's a crazy time here in New York. Crazy time here in the States with the World Cup going on. We got the NHL Stanley Cup playoffs going. We got the NBA Finals, of course, Game 5 tonight, 8:30 p.m. The Knicks are one away. The city's been in absolute
It's buzzing.
chaos because of it. It is buzzing. That's one
Good
way to put
chaos.
it. There's some bad chaos going on too. We're not gonna lie,
Oh,
but
yeah, we're not
we'll not highlight that. Yeah, like, do you have any fandom? Have you growing up in Jamaica? Like, what
yeah,
was
I grew up.
what's your sport? I don't know. Do you have one? Yeah.
I grew up watching basketball like on
Okay.
VCR cassette tapes. But it was always at that time. It was definitely Lakers, Allen Iverson era.
Mm,
Way back when.
love me some
But I
AI. Yeah.
lost touch with basketball until now. I'm gonna be very honest, but I'm definitely cheering for
Yeah.
the New York Knicks because I live here. But also, I'm not a native born and bred New Yorker, so I don't want to take this up and be like, oh,
Right. 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 Bandwagon.
I'm still,
Bandwagon.
yeah, I'm a still New Yorker, wherein I am definitely rooting for the New York Knicks because number one, Romero is doing a good job. Number two, they're busting
Yes.
their ass
Yes.
off to play, and it looks good. The only game we lost was because of one person, he we shall not name, but um, the people are coming together. There's a lot of unity. I've been here for a while, and you've been here all your life, and I've never seen New York like this. To be honest, it's been
It's
thriving.
neither have I, by the way. Okay. So, all right.
It's thriving.
The last time the Knicks were in, NBA championship position was 1999. So I was pretty young back then. I was born in '92, so I remember it,
You're
but
born
it
in
was
'92.
I was born in '92.
Oh my God,
Yeah. How old do you think
you're
I
a
was?
baby.
Did you think I was older? Jeez.
No, at least older than me.
Yeah. Yeah. No. No. Sorry. I'm not gonna ask. Yeah. Born in '92. Um. So I was what 7 years old basically at the time. I just I knew what was going on, but I didn't really feel it the way I feel now. And of course, the Knicks didn't win it back then. So and it's and then and now it's been 50 plus years since they've won a championship. So yeah,
Mm,
this is the craziest I've ever seen New York. We've seen championships from our local teams, the Yankees. We've seen the in hockey. Devils, Rangers, and all that, but the city has never quite buzzed like it's buzzed before.
I
And
know. Crazy.
that's just the beautiful thing about the Knicks. We they just bring everybody. They're kind of universal. Yes, we have now the Brooklyn Nets, who are originated in Jersey and all that, but they just have not been accepted to this town. And the Knicks have always been here. It's always been the Knicks. It's a Knicks town. If you're a Nets fan, it's always kind of funny, to see, to hear that, but we kind of we as native New Yorkers, we always make fun of the New Yorkers that are Nets fans. It's very little. I don't even know if there's a bunch of hardcore ones or whatever. Probably more so since they moved to Brooklyn. So it's just been insane.
It has been.
And I've been over here in my own little bubble over here. Even when I went to a concert recently at the Garden and I got to experience it, a lot of just people just walking on the street. You see people wearing the jerseys. It's everywhere. It's all people could talk about at my job, everywhere you
I
go.
know. Even
Um,
like commuting from Grand Central,
oh,
like I
I
was
could
there the
only
other day, and it
imagine.
was
Yeah, yeah.
like people coming, from upstate coming down. It's like
Right,
crazy,
right.
crazy, crazy, crazy.
And now you got the World Cup,
Yeah.
which is even crazier. Now you got I've seen the Brazilian fans were in Times Square, invading Times Square, and all that. Which I'm
I
happy to
know.
see that there's all of this festivities. I should have known better because I thought with the whole situation, with this political administration and what's going on right now in the country, I thought we'd see less of that, especially with the whole immigration issue at this time. But there seems to be a very strong, presence going on, or at least I've seen thus far. So I'm very happy to see that. Hopefully it stays cordial. Hopefully there's no chaos that ensues. Certainly don't want to hear issues arise with like ICE and all of that. So um, I'm just happy to see it. Point out.
Yeah.
Are you? I don't even know. Forgive me for not knowing. Is Jamaica even in the World Cup representation? Gee, I don't know because
No,
God damn, I'm like, are they here? Are they
no,
representing us
we're
here? That's a shit. I
not.
think they were close to qualifying. No.
The last time we qualified for the World Cup was in 1998, and it was a big ass deal, like a
Okay.
big
Yeah. Yeah.
deal. Like, oh my gosh, a big deal. So we haven't qualified since then. I mean, we're
Damn.
a little nation. We're not like we only have 2 million people.
Yeah.
Needless to say, we do have the potential because we do produce a lot of great athletes. From our
Mm-hmm.
small island. But I think culturally, I was just saying this the other day on TikTok. Like culturally, even though America has its issues with accepting people coming in for the World Cup, I think it's a
Mm-hmm.
cultural thing outside of the United States. Like we don't call it soccer, we call it football.
Right. Right.
Every country, it's a big deal. It's a big deal.
Sure.
Like the World Cup now, it is a big deal.
I mean, football in general, not American football, is the greatest, most popular sport worldwide. I'd firmly believe it. Probably, maybe cricket might be up there too, but
Oh
I
yeah,
think I
yeah,
think
cricket. Oh my
football.
God, well, you know about cricket? What the hell?
Nah, I know about it. Listen, I've been wanting to play actually. Now
Oh, you gotta go to Brooklyn.
they play right by me here in Queens. There's every Saturday,
Yay!
Sunday. Yeah, Queens is big for
The
cricket.
Guyanese and the Trinidadians and
Yeah,
the Jamaicans.
they're out here, man. They're out here. They're all they be playing. They be playing. I think over here it's more of a Guyanese presence for
Mm,
sure. Yeah. I know. Yeah. Probably I have to go other parts of Queens. But by me, I have Cunningham Park by me. They play over there, and then Casino Park. They play over there as well. You know, they're there every weekend,
Oh,
man. Yeah, they're hosting tournaments, the whole nine. Yeah. Um, yeah, I've watched it before. You know, listen, I do host the sports show, so I've watched it before. I still don't quite understand all the rules with it, but I get the gist for the most part on it. It's so funny.
yeah.
It was about like a year ago I had discovered. I always thought that the ball was just um, the same all around. I never knew that it had a stitching down the middle
Yeah.
to change the trajectory of the ball, and I found that
Because you got a
fascinating.
spinner,
I was like, that is
yeah,
great.
the
Yeah.
front, yeah.
Because I know I always looked at it because I played baseball growing up. So, you know, for me, that cricket translates for me in my head. The way I watch it, I'm like, oh, I think I could play this game for sure. It's, you know, there's a pitching, there's a batter. It's, you know, the fielding is
It's a little different.
quite similar. It's a little bit different, no doubt.
Yeah.
But I think my skill set would translate well to the game. I think I could, like, if
Yeah.
I committed to it, I would be able to play it. Like, I play, you know, for company softball team too, last 2 years. So, you know,
They're in the same
yeah,
family. Basketball,
for sure.
baseball,
Yeah.
they're in the same family. So it's you would catch on pretty quickly. You
Yeah.
would.
But worldwide, like it is, you know, it is definitely most popular.
It's a big deal.
I know fans here in the U.S. They don't, you know, want to acknowledge that it's, you know, baseball or American football or whatever. It's even basketball, but you know, here it's American football. That's the most popular, and it's not my
Yeah.
favorite sport, but it is American football. That's by far, you know, Sunday football here they go bananas. Uh,
Oh,
you know,
what team are you bringing for the World Cup?
I mean, listen, you know, I'm Italian, Puerto Rican, you know, and Cuban. So, you know, if Italy's in it, you know, that's where you know my, you know my fandom lies. Of course, you know, born and raised here in the States, I'm going for the USA. I have to. We're the host nation this year. I was debating whether or not I'd even watch it. To be honest with you, all with the whole political situation right now,
Yeah.
I was gonna have my little form of protest and not cover it here on the show and not watch it in general. A friend of mine recently was like, "Man, I challenge you to, you know, reconsider that and just, you know, to partake and watch." And you know, I decided to watch USA's game last night. Had a great time doing it.
That's good.
I watch it all in Spanish, by the way. That, you know,
Uh,
I prefer watching football in Spanish.
oh,
Isn't
really?
that
Wow.
crazy? Yeah.
It is.
You know, I don't like watching the American broadcast. I don't have to know half the shit they're saying most of the time, but you know, I know a little bit of Spanish, so I could pick up things. You know, but like, so I'm not like
Yeah.
completely blind. But wouldn't even I didn't even put the subtitles on last night. Straight Spanish. But yeah, so that's
Yeah.
my team. It'll be
Commentators
Italian. It'd be Italian. Yeah, I guess I root for, you know, some, you know, I love seeing Argentina play. You know, the whole Messi, you know, following it. I'm a more Messi fan than I am Ronaldo. Brazil, obviously the lore of Brazil, you know, just, you know, all
Yeah.
the
By
great players.
default.
Yeah, I mean, you know, how could you not, you know, be interesting? Just the history alone, you know, there is you got to tune in. So, but Italy, man, when Italy, you know, won it, you know, it's just fascinating. So, you know, you know,
You
that's
know,
where my fandom lies. Yeah.
what I like most about like these major events, because I'm a big Tour de France. I'm looking forward to my Tour de France this summer,
Mm.
and I'm a big tennis fan. I go to the U.S. Open and I
I
watch
seen you
all the
talk about it.
majors.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's the underdog that rise up. You know, like even with the
Yeah.
World Cup, it might be a team that we didn't expect to be on top, be on top. So I'm
Right.
always looking forward to something unexpected happen with these major events. You know,
We seen a lot of that with Roland Garros recently at the
yeah.
tennis
Oh my
event. Yeah, a
gosh,
lot of
like
upsets
that was
there.
crazy. That
Yeah.
was crazy.
Yeah,
Yep. So
that was a hell of a tournament indeed. Who's
it was.
your are you partial men's, women's? Do you focus more? Or you watch both when it comes to tennis?
No, both,
Yeah.
because they both have great players. I'm a Sabalenka girl,
Okay.
right through and through. Yeah,
Yeah.
I like her.
Yeah.
She's a good hitter. And for the men, I will always have to go with Novak Djokovic, whether he loses, wins or not. I know his time is
Mm,
expiring. I know he's kind of
Djokovic. Yeah.
testing out, but um, for the Roland Garros, it kind of surprised me because I don't know what's going to happen for the Wimbledon in 2 weeks or less
Right.
than a week from now.
Right. Yeah. Then you got
So
U.S. Open
mm,
coming too. It's gonna be wild times, of course. Yeah. tennis space, I feel like is in both men's and women's is doing great right now, man.
Yeah.
It's a fun watch. It's a good time for it. Definitely seems to be trending. Very expensive to go to nowadays for the
I
U.S.
got some good
Open.
tickets.
Did you? Yeah, you got to
I
get
got
them
some good
early. You got to
tickets.
get them early.
Yeah.
You have to. Nowadays with anything, you really got to go for these pre-sales and all that. It's just that's the way you got to buy. Otherwise, you're subject to the secondary market, and you're just going to be paying
That's
astronomical
so
prices.
expensive. And
Yeah.
even
Yeah.
for the LA Olympics,
Hmm.
I've signed up to see what early tickets there are because if you wait until 2027 to get a ticket, forget it.
Right.
2028 to get a
Right.
ticket, forget it.
Yeah,
So
I haven't even considered that. I might, it's still you're still eligible to sign up now for that.
yeah, you can
For that,
yeah,
okay.
you can. You
Yeah, maybe
can.
I'll look into that myself because that's how many opportunity you're gonna get for that. That'd be
I
pretty
know.
cool. All right. So very good, very good. That's where we stand. Let's go Knicks. Okay.
Yeah.
Is your main team World Cup Brazil? You got anybody else you're looking at? You're watching?
I'm gonna go with Brazil. My best friend is
Okay.
well, it's been by default since I was a kid. I
Yeah.
think I've always gone. But last year, Germany did well, I think, if I remember. It was an upset also last year. Not
Mm.
last year, the last 4 years. Um I'm always gonna root for Brazil, but like I said, it could be an upset. I'm always open for an underdog team coming forward.
Yeah. I mean, my sports fandom lies in a bunch of underdogs. The Mets, the Jets. I guess you could
Yeah.
say the Rangers too, because it's been forever since they won. Knicks, obviously, you mentioned 50 years. It's just been pain my whole sports life. So, you know, I'm always rooting for the underdog. Even when my teams aren't in it, which oftentimes they're not. I'm rooting for the underdog, so that's
Yeah.
where I like. I like to see a good game, and I'd love to see a good tournament. So far the games have been great. It was really nice to see the USA beat Paraguay, and
Yeah, that was really
so
surprising.
convincingly too. Um,
Hmm.
that was
Paraguay is
surprising.
a good
Yeah,
team, and
right,
Uruguay and Paraguay, they're good teams. The football is their base sport.
right, right. So to see them do that, I was like, oh, okay, and I think the last time, last World Cup, they I seen a stat. They USA only had 3 goals, so they've already succeeded that in game one here. So
Yeah.
there you go. Hopefully it continues. I'm trying to. Today we got Brazil 6 p.m. Who's that
Yeah,
against?
I gotta watch that.
Is that
I definitely gotta
Morocco?
watch
They're
that.
playing ago.
Yeah, Morocco. Morocco
Okay.
is a good team too.
Yeah, apparently it's a pretty even matchup. They only it's basically like a 50-50 toss up in terms of the result they're saying with Brazil giving the slight edge. So that's
Wow.
interesting. Yeah, not a
And
lot
that's
of.
in New Jersey.
Oh, that is.
We're hosting. Yeah, we're hosting that.
Oh, gee, that's right. So it's just gonna be pandemonium. So you got Brazil in Jersey, and then Game 5, going on in San Antonio. But there's
Oh
gonna be
yeah,
crazy amount of watch parties. So there's gonna be watch parties all over. This is a
all
crazy
over.
day.
Yeah,
Not only that, it's a Saturday in New
it
York.
is.
It
And then
is
tomorrow they have the Puerto Rican Day Parade, I
right.
think.
And I'm sure there's a bunch of pride events going on right
Oh
today,
yeah.
tomorrow.
Yep. Yep.
Um, it's 84 degrees. It's a just picturesque day as I look out the window now. You got
It
the
is.
Knicks watch parties. You got World Cup watch parties going on. You got Pride. You got Puerto Rican Day Parade, which is just a crazy mix.
Oh, New York is buzzing.
Buzzing. I keep on joking and saying New York's gonna burn, but in a good way. These Knicks fans, I don't know. I've seen a lot
If
of a
we
lot
win
of videos.
tonight with the Knicks,
Oh,
forget it.
forget it. No,
Forget
forget it.
it.
It's like
Forget
it's
it.
a bad storm. They're
Forget
gonna
it.
flood
Forget it.
those streets.
Forget it. Forget it.
I'm good. I'm gonna be home. I'll be
So
here.
let me ask you a question
Yeah,
real quick.
yeah.
Because if they lose this match, they would have to play another match, right?
Yeah, so there's 3 potential more games. So it is, they would have to win one of potentially the next 3 to win it all.
Oh, we have a
Yes.
good chance of winning then.
I mean, the odds are astronomically high. Yes, if they somehow.
I wish I was a gambler. I would go
Yes.
on Clash right now.
Well, you could, but the problem with that, you'd have to bet money to make money. There's,
You
so
do.
because they're the overwhelming favorite. They're only 1 win away at
Because
this
even the
point.
last match, if
So
I betted so much money on Clashy, I would not have thought we would have won the last match. I would have been shitting my pants.
Right. I've seen some bettors play some pretty hectic, pretty heavy bets like mid game when the Knicks were down 29 and they cashed in quite a bit. To say, yeah,
Oh,
like which by the way is just irresponsible, but because there's no way, obviously the Knicks did it, so they proved they did the impossible. But and that's why it was so special, and that's why everybody lost their minds after the last game, is because it
I
literally in the
know.
history of the playoffs, it's never been done before. It's never been achieved. That type of deficit to overcome that. So to see that is insane, but to bet on that and actually cash in is even more insane.
Yeah.
I know we live in a gambling world nowadays, so it's just yeah. Please bet responsibly, everybody out there. The Knicks, look, they don't even have much faith in the Knicks tonight. They're not a favorite tonight. They expect San Antonio to win by 6. So
What?
I don't even know where people should feel on that. I don't have a good read on that. I'm not going to give you any advice. I want to believe the Knicks will win, but a part of me does believe San Antonio is going to win tonight. I do, and I think they'll come back, and I think the Knicks will win it here at home in a couple of days. I think I think
It
Tuesday would be
continues.
the next game.
It'd be really nice if they won on home soil. That would be really cool.
It'd be great, but also I would be concerned for this city. I think I'm concerned for this city either way. But that would be awesome, yeah. And again, everybody out there, if you're interested in going to a potential game 6, it's only going to cost you about like $11,000. So have fun
Only.
with that. Only, you'll be all right. I know, Tia, you got that. You got that in the bag. It's all
Oh,
right.
I'd rather go to the Wimbledon. I don't like. I love a good crowd and celebration, but I really fear the crowd. I fear it so much. I fear
Yeah.
it.
No, I hear you. Yeah, thankfully, like the U.S. Open experience, all that, it's not too crazy. It's pretty easy traveling too. It's a nice area to get to.
Well,
At least I think. Well, for me, I live in Queens, so
I would take that 11 grand and go to France for the Tour de France.
that'd be
Trust me.
awesome. Yeah,
I'm goal is to go at least, I don't know, maybe not next year, but the other year, but I'm definitely going. It's
that'd be amazing.
here, the Tour de France brings me so much joy. It's so crazy.
I wonder how much those tickets are like locally. Yeah,
Nothing really. You're on the street. You just gotta find a spot. It's like the marathon.
really. Hmm.
Yeah, you just gotta find a spot. You gotta know the countryside of France, and you just find a spot and stand and watch them go by. Because
Okay,
they go
okay, gotcha. Yeah.
by seconds.
Okay, wow. I thought, yeah,
Yeah,
you have to like pay admission to gain access or something like that. Okay.
experience.
That's
Free.
cool. That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, to experience something like that'd be amazing. All right, before we officially close out today's show, again, Tia, thank you for coming on today. It was a great show indeed. Over the 2 hour mark now, so it's just amazing how time flies. I talked about a lot today. Don't want to leave here without bringing it up once again. Please check out both of our pages on Instagram. And you're still very active on Facebook, are you? I was going to ask you that earlier. You still do you prioritize Instagram now more so, or you still
Yeah.
on? Yeah,
Is where
yeah. I still have my Facebook, but I very rarely like go on it. I just like automatically post to it and kind of like post and forget almost at times.
yeah.
I'll check notifications at times, but I'm not like primarily on it. So please, you can find our fundraising links. You can find Tia's raffle giveaway right there. Tia underscore Samuda. Check her out and participate in her raffle giveaways to fundraise for student athletes for the Bronx Burners. You can check out my fundraising page as well. Please donate. No donation is too small. We really appreciate it. I know people get weird about it at times, like, oh, I don't have much money to give.
Doesn't matter.
It really doesn't matter. A couple bucks, whatever. Like, truthfully, I don't even know. Is there a minimum? Is there like a $5 minimum for this one?
I think
Or can you donate like $1? Yeah.
doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Whatever
Right.
it counts. Each one adds up.
Oh, absolutely. And I tell people that all the time. I know sometimes people get weird about no, just anything. Couple of bucks, that's fine. More than, you know,
Great.
it's just the idea alone, the fact that you'd be willing to, support is it matters more. So, we greatly appreciate it, and it goes to a great cause. It's changing, lives of young kids.
Yeah.
Um, I'm very grateful for that. I have a son who may not be fortunate to experience college education and go through a traditional educational system, and so for me as a parent to be able to support other young ones that maybe might not have the financial wherewithal to proceed, and or at least give them a little bit of assistance in their journey is awesome. I benefited from a similar program. That was my whole pitch to the Bronx Burners itself, was when my after my father passed away in high school. I was a freshman in high school. I was going to a Catholic school at the time, St. John's Prep in Astoria, Queens. And we my I was fortunate enough that my parents had decided to pay my way in there. It cost money, still does, and
Yeah.
quite a lot. And it was a great school. Wanted to stay there, but after my father passed away, I could no longer afford to stay there. And I enrolled in this program. It was like a last ditch effort to stay there. The school really liked me, wanted to help me out. They had an alumni program that helped out with financial assistance for the schooling, and I applied for it, went through a process, and they graciously accepted me. I got sponsored by somebody, and I was
Yeah.
able to remain there for the remainder of the 4 years. And who knows, that in itself, life changing. I know I went through a rough patch in my life afterwards and all that, and I hope I didn't let the person down, the one that sponsored me. I think I turned out to be pretty okay. Who knows what would happen without it?
Yeah. That's
I
true.
go into the public system. Maybe it could have been 10 times worse. I don't know. Like maybe I'm not the same person I am today. So I'm truthfully, I am grateful for that. And then just to help out in this type of similar space, and give back, like you touched on it early in the show. That's
Yeah.
it means the world to me and you. So yeah. Any last words for me, the people out there listening? Tia, you have the floor.
Well, thank you for having me. It was really fun talking and, getting to know each other more and spreading the word on whatever topic we touched on. Um, it's like I like these spaces that we get entered into. It allows you to meet another great person. I think that's it with us. You meet another great friend.
Mm,
You form a bond. You become friends for life. Life takes you on many different journeys, and that's one thing I appreciate with the spaces that I deliberately put myself in, because I'm very deliberate about certain things.
yes.
And looking forward to hiking with you, running, doing the marathon, and seeing each other at practice whenever we have the time to do so. And be friends after that forever. And
Absolutely. Yeah.
nice, definitely chatting with you. I felt at home. Like this is I haven't done this in so long, and I wasn't nervous or anything. I felt like I was just chatting to you, like FaceTime or something. So that's good.
Thank you. I appreciate that. That's the essence of my show, and I try to make everybody that comes on here just feel at home. It's just like you were hanging out, like you said, having a conversation. Nothing super intense, over the top. No glitz and glam. Just us talking, sharing our journeys, sharing our experiences, and hopefully inspiring and motivating others. And you know,
Hmm.
trying to find other like-minded people in the process, and build more community. So I appreciate you
Yeah.
coming on. I had an awesome time. I always get nervous with these types of things, so I'm not going to say that I wasn't nervous off the top of the show. I had a little bit of jitters, but that's
A
just
little
me.
bit, but
That's just
eventually
me.
it'll make it.
And again, thank you everybody for tuning in to the live show. I appreciate you. Um, Please, again, like, comment, share, and subscribe, especially if you're watching in post. Share it. Anything you can do to support this channel, support this podcast, I would greatly appreciate that. And if you would like to be a guest on a future episode, hit me up. You can email episportsradio@gmail.com, or you could hit me up directly. Preferred on Instagram. You could reach out to me in the messages and the DMs, and we can arrange something. We could work something out. Tia,
Yeah.
if you'd be willing to, I would love to have you on in the future.
Of course.
You
Hit me
know,
up.
especially as our journey proceeds and we go on. I already have a little bit of content idea because I've started a new series. I haven't posted it yet, but
Yeah.
I started a new series of walking and talking with friends. So
Uh,
I'm currently editing the first
your first.
episode of that.
That's cool.
And I figured during our hike we could
Yeah.
potentially do that. That'd be
Yeah.
cool. It doesn't take much, it's just, a little tedious setting up the camera, walking a little bit, walking back, plugging in the mic. But,
Yeah.
yeah, it's a little something I've been, working up on. So, yeah, again, forever figuring out my thing and my niche in here in this content space. So,
Yeah.
but,
I want to say a shout out to my friend Leon. I think she was on. She commented. I mean, there are people that came in and came out, but
yeah, for sure. Yeah, I
Dion.
noticed we had some people in today, for sure. I know it's, listen, Saturday, but I don't expect a lot of people to show up to the live. For those that are interested, or you maybe came in a little bit late, I will have the full edited version up on YouTube later this evening. Just subscribe, keep the, hit that bell, keep the notifications on so that way you get notified when the premiere comes out. And I'll also be putting out promos on all the socials, and I'll be breaking down some, short clips, maybe one or two short clips from the episode, and, highlight you as well. So, yeah, thank you, to all the listeners out there. Appreciate it. All right, Tia, don't go anywhere. I'm going to hit this outro. We're going to get out of here, close up the show properly. I'll give you my proper goodbyes. All right, that's it.
All right.
This concludes the live recording of episode 78 of the Epis Sports podcast. Thank you, everybody, again for showing up. Keep showing up, as always, as is the motto of the show. Check out Tia's raffle. Check out my fundraiser. Please donate to a wonderful cause. And that's all I have for you. Let's go, Knicks. I'll be back later this evening. We will have the live reaction of Game 5, but and also the live recording of episode 79. So, it's your boy Matty B, Epis Radio Entertainment. Until next time, folks, keep showing up.
Wake up! You can't remember where it was. Has this dream stopped?
Here we go.
Epis Radio. Epis Radio.
Matty B.
Epis Radio. Epis Radio.
You're from NYC.
Epis Radio. Epis Radio.
Shout out to Steve Adorno for the new intro, outro. As you see here, Stevie Beats Adorno, check him out. Written and produced the new intro. Thank you, everybody, for showing up for this live recording. Until next time, keep showing up.